What is up, everybody? It's your boy NoisySauce here, going live with our man Tiny Vessels, as always, on our podcast. And we've got a special guest today, the one, the only, BSTCHLD. What is going on, my G?
Oh, yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good. How are you doing, man?
Hanging out, having a good time. Very busy these days. That's usually what I answer when people ask how I'm doing these days. Just very busy.
Very busy. Well, that's a good thing.
It's a good problem to have.
It's good to keep busy.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I got to ask you at the very start of this is, what are you currently consuming?
Music-wise?
No.
Social media-wise?
Drink-wise.
Yes.
You got a little bit of a Heine.
I got a Heineken wrapped in a cool towel to help get it colder
Just
quicker.
keep the condensation off the hands. Keep it clean. What are you guys working on over there?
We got some red wine. There
you go.
I've forgotten what it is. It's
I think it was Shiraz, wasn't it?
some kind. Yeah, some estate. No, it's a Cab Sav.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Clearly know our things. So we've already got What's Up Dads. We're all collective dads now.
Is that what people are already saying?
I got Money Man 118, and he is BSTCHLD is my father on TikTok. Actually, you added me, Money Man. I've seen you.
He made an effort to make sure he follows everybody that I follow.
Wow, that is some good marketing for everybody that you know.
Yeah,
just knowing you is one extra follower.
You're welcome.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
Good stuff, Money Man. So, for anyone who doesn't know, which is going to be pretty much all of our followers right now, BSTCHLD went massively viral. What was it, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, so on May 31st, I had 75 followers.
And I know you've told this... sorry, you had...
No, that's all good. Different audiences. I had 75 at midnight on that day.
All right.
And by the end of the day, I might have had a few hundred. And by, here now we sit here, maybe 3.5 weeks later, I'm at 335,000.
Now that is some fucking growth right there. So 175 to 300,000 in 3 weeks.
3.5. Yeah. I mean, what day of June is it? 22, 23, 25?
Jesus.
So unreal.
So anyone who doesn't follow BSTCHLD, which I'm like, all of the people in the comments so far, they look like they're your fans. But anyone who doesn't follow BSTCHLD, check him out. He is, like I spelt it in the comments there, BSTCHLD, BSTCHLD with no vowels, no spaces. And he does these funny TikTok videos where I'm gonna let you explain what you do.
So, well, I'll say the idea kind of came from, there was this really popular song on TikTok called Roses, right? And and it has the chipmunk, the high frequency pitched vocals, and it's a dope beat, but it's really hard to understand the lyrics. And so I just happened to open up the music video for it on YouTube, and I saw the lyrics, and I was like, is that what they're saying in this? And so I was like, that would be a funny TikTok of me just literally saying the lyrics very literally, as if I'm giving some sort of discourse in philosophy, right? And I was like, I walked in the corner with the body screaming Dolo, and I thought that was really funny. And that evolved into, what if I take a really, really vulgar, explicit rap song that also is hard to understand and popular, and pop a perk and I black out. I don't know if we can swear on this.
Oh yeah, you can swear as much as you want.
Pop a perk and I black out. Fucking, I'm blowing her back out. WWE if she fucking with me. I put the pussy on SmackDown.
That's hilarious.
So that one did 10,000 overnight, and that was the first and only success I'd ever had, really, with anything on the internet, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it did 80,000 throughout the course of about 24 hours, and that kind of kicked off. Obviously, the thing is, a lot of people, when they go viral or they have a viral moment, it's a one-off, or it's like, oh, I didn't expect that, or they don't really know what to do with the newfound attention. Whereas with me, it was very clear. It was very much like, all right, well, let's get back to work. Luckily, it's 4 bars of a rap song. This isn't
Yeah.
a big ask. So, just pound them out. Now at this point, I'm putting out at least 3 a day, sometimes as many as 5.
Yeah. Oh wow. Because I was gonna say you show up on my For You page like all the time.
That's awesome. I hear even from some of these guys 8 times a day type of thing. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
I'll take it.
It just comes up all the time, and like, it's because I obviously like all of your stuff, so it's like algorithm.
You watch
like
it,
his
and
stuff.
TikTok says, "Oh, if you like it, I'm going to give you more of it." Right?
Yeah. I'm in a funny position with your success because do you remember the day that it really started blowing up and you hit my live stream, and you gave me a call? I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I remember one of our initial. I don't remember what day it was in terms of if it was day 1 or day 3 or day 7.
I think it was when you kind of realized that it was like going hectic.
Yeah, because once you get multiple days of that kind of growth, and once it's speeding up and not slowing down, go ahead.
Yeah, you came onto my live stream and you were like, dude, give me a call after this. I'm like, I got something to share with you. I was like, oh yeah, because we'd kind of hung out just on each other's streams a little bit, but
right.
You called up and you're like, dude, shit's going hectic on my TikTok right now, and yeah, I can't believe it went as far as it did. But you're like, I just got to keep making more of these, and
exactly.
I think a lot of people in your position at that time would have been like, what else can I do? Whereas I feel like
don't get too
don't overthink it.
First of all, TikTok, the less you think the better, right? So it's like that's not the case on all platforms, maybe not the case in life, but you got something that's working, breathe, just do that. Just put a little more gasoline on the fire, don't try to take the fight. So that's what I'm doing right now. And the fact that, how many days in a row do you need to see this kind of growth to believe that this is really an original concept that has caught on and a lot of people like? And obviously I'm at the point where I get it. Like, this is lit. People really enjoy this. I almost don't really need to do anything else in order to entertain. And I'm gaining more and more momentum. But yeah, sprinkle here and there. So maybe go live and show a little bit of personality. Redirect to my YouTube where you can find my music. Redirect to my Instagram and you can see more of my day-to-day. Yeah. But TikTok, let's keep fanning the flames, if you will.
That's what you got. I got your man Nick Terra up in the chat here too.
Oh, yeah.
I knew he'd show up at some point. What's going on, Nick? Hope you're doing well.
Oh, yeah.
I was just having a chat to him before, actually.
Nick had the funniest story that I heard him tell you about. He's hanging out with the guy, and the guy said, "Oh, my son loves BSTCHLD." It's like, holy shit. That was kind of a big moment.
Yeah. That was amazing. Is that? Oh, you're on the chat now.
I just dropped in there, say what's up.
That's awesome. Like, is that what BSTCHLD's in there? I'm talking to him. Because I've just actually Trav over here. I've just made him. Yeah. How long did it take me to force you to get onto TikTok?
Ages. I've only been on it for about 2 weeks.
I got him.
And, well, I was gonna say, and Trev, I don't blame you at all. Like, anybody our age or anyone really mid to late 20s to 30s, like, it's not really. It might feel like there aren't really a lot of us on there until you open it up and you see that it's more than just, dancing videos and lip syncing. Like there's a lot of cool stuff, honestly. Like, I'm really not,
definitely. It just takes you a while to kind of get in there and actually find the stuff that you enjoy.
Exactly.
So I noticed as soon as I downloaded it, that's all that was coming up was these dancing videos, and I'm like, what is this? And I think that's what happened the first time I kind of.
And that's why past that it learns.
Yeah. But then I actually went in there and I started I went into a few hashtags and of certain things that I was into, and started following those pages, and now I'm kind of naturally getting the shit that I'm into, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Trav's just started doing what's your drum songs that shouldn't have drums.
Yeah, that's my thing at the moment.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just my idea that I kind of came up with. It took me a while to kind of come up with the concept for TikTok. But it hasn't really kicked off that much yet, but it's doing all right.
You say that, but like you're getting what, like 300?
It's like roughly 300 a video.
300 a video is good. Like,
if you're getting 300 views,
just starting,
where the fuck else can you go somewhere with no followers?
Yeah.
And get 300 views?
Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
Honestly, you get 50 if you just put up your first YouTube video. What can you really expect, right? You know how many followers, like, and so that's the thing. People, you look, it's this is basic human psychology to compare yourself to your peers and to others, and this guy's doing this and he's having success, and what the fuck, man? But really, like, just about yourself. I came on, first video I put up got like 300, and I was like, what? This is incredible. It's a 15-second video of me talking, you know, and then like. The next one, you know, and then that one actually did better than like my next 9, which were between 100 and 200. And for me, the thing was that I would take those videos and put them on Instagram, and my friends that I already knew would love the content, but they weren't getting traction on TikTok. But so obviously I'm sure I don't know if you kind of take your content and share it to your Instagram story, throw it on your Facebook, throw it over here. But tell me more specifically, tell me about the drums. Yeah, I'm sorry to keep jumping in.
That's all right. Yeah, the concept was that I was going to play the songs that don't have drums. So the title is like songs that shouldn't have drums.
Okay.
so like,
I just play over. A good example would be like my first kind of video was Ed Sheeran, A-Team. Everyone knows that song. It's a massive song, but it doesn't have drums on it. It's just an acoustic track. So I played along with. Yeah, I've just kind of got I've got a small setup in my room, so I'm kind of just using.
Do you consciously contrast? It's literally called songs that shouldn't have drums. So you find like almost like a peaceful song that really has no business having drums, and then you go crazy on it then?
Yeah. I kind of just try and make it sound like full band.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't really, hilarious. It was never written that way. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people go, oh, don't you mean should have drums? And not shouldn't have drums? And I'm like...
Yeah, because you're adding them. And it's like, no, I'm proving why they shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
If it should have had drums, they would have put drums on
exactly
it.
Right. That's exactly right.
But here I am doing what the fuck they wouldn't do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of like how I'm... Like, this is how you're not supposed to say, you know, bitch, pussy, and motherfucker. Right?
Lyrics that shouldn't be pronounced so well.
Yeah, exactly. Lyrics that you shouldn't emphasize and break down slowly. Fuck. You know, raindrop, drop top. You know.
Actually, I had this question in my head because I saw you mention this a while ago, but and we were talking about how it was an original concept for you. What you did. I got 2 questions. I'm going to start with the first one, which is like a much longer one, and then I'm going to get to the second one. First one, how long did it take you to get to that concept? And this is for the people wondering how to go viral on TikTok. When it comes to coming up with a concept, like, was this the first thing you thought of when you decided to jump on TikTok? Like, you just think, I can do this, and it just blew up? Or did you have other ideas first?
Absolutely not the first. Absolutely not the storybook, you know, I'm some sort of prodigy or something like that. It took me, one straight month, took me 30 days of failing every day, making a video. And, you know, how can you define 200 views as a flop when you have less than 50 followers? Mm-hmm. But, you know, with TikTok's potential, it's like, damn, I feel like this deserved 1,000, right? So I came onto TikTok having created like more psychology and educational videos recently because quarantine and mental health, and I've gone through a lot myself, and I've read a bunch of books where I can, like, you know, really shed light on, let's define depression and anxiety, and sadness is just an emotion, so that means it has a time limit. It's really nothing to worry about, but, you know, blah 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 blah. And these things that I find kind of interesting, that there's buzzwords that people might not know the definitions to. So I did that whole educational thing for, I don't know, 10 to 14 days.
And that's where I first found you on
TikTok.
Yeah,
and that's where I connected with you through Nick, joining the Instagram lives. But that's what I was doing at the time, and you might have not even known I was a musician at the time, right? And so I'm doing that, and I'm trying to find a lane in there, and that's not really working for me, and that's fine. So now let me start thinking about comedy. You know, that's another element, something I'm interested in. Let me just come up with an idea. What's funny? gonna slap lotion on my face and like, it's gonna look like something else, and then that'll be funny, and then just loop that video. And I came up with this funny idea, and it didn't work. It didn't pop. And so I go to sleep, and the next day I just try to come up with another one, and I did. And the next day I tried to come up with another one. And I literally just came up with a new idea every day and didn't have success with any of them for an entire month. So when I say a month, you might hear that and think, oh, a month isn't that long. I would gladly invest a month of effort into something that I knew was going to get me 300,000. Like if this is the known result, of course I'll put a month into it. But without a known result, trying something new every day for a month and failing is a long time. And when I say trying something, it's like, it's not just the 15 seconds you see in the video. It's not just getting ready for the video, setting up the camera, setting up the lighting, and doing 3 takes until you get one good. It's the thinking. It's literally waking up, and I'm literally working from home, but like in little breaks, I'm like, what would be funny? Like conscious effort, like cognitive, I'm trying every day. I'm thinking outside the box. I'm looking at this item in my house. I'm looking at that. I'm thinking about this. Who's my audience? Who do I want to be my audience? I'm thinking. And then it literally if you scroll down my TikTok, I've never deleted a video. So you'll see, all of these attempts. Now all of them have 20,000 because of the audience. But I eventually come up with this idea for the rap videos. Like I told you, the idea that has taken me to this new level. And here's another interesting part. The first 8, I recorded 9 of these, and the first 8 flopped like all of my other videos. So I believed in the idea enough to record 9 of them. Like surely after 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, it's like, okay, this isn't gonna work. But again, it goes back to like, I genuinely thought it was funny. I enjoyed doing it, and that rings through off in the video. It rubs off. You can see it. It's like palpable, my interest in it. Even though I'm playing an ironic character, like even though you're making fun of this song playing drums, it's clear that you like drums and you enjoy doing this thing.
Exactly.
And you can feel that, right? And so with me, that was the cool thing, was like, my friends think it's funny. I think it's funny.
Surely the world will think it's funny.
Surely, right? Well, they didn't think the first 8.
Yeah.
And so then I had the 9th one, which was that, Papa Park and I Blackout song. And that's a popular TikTok song, but I obviously didn't expect anything of it. It was saved in my drafts. And I said, fuck it. I'm just going to put it out and go to sleep. And I'm going to move on to another idea tomorrow. Because after 9 tries, but how crazy that the last one, the one that I was like, all right, fuck it. And I was mentally checked out of that idea. And then that one popped, and I was like, okay, hold on. Put the car in reverse. More of this.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah.
And it's not just the idea, it's not just the reading the lyrics in a funny way. You actually went the full, like, you got the hair, which is iconic
the
to
hair.
you. You wear the same shirt every day, you have the same background every day.
Same place, visual cue. I want the brain to do less work.
Yeah.
So you see him, that's that guy with the hair, with the gray shirt, doing the same thing, boom, 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 boom. And to the point where maybe I was really being ambitious at this. It's just basic branding, though. I mean, in a sense, it's less effort for me to wear the same shirt every day. I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear.
Yeah.
I just literally wear the same shirt. I put it on, record TikToks, take it off.
I
wash it every 2 or 3 days. But
I was going to say, once that, if you don't wash it for a while, once you spend quite a bit of time on TikTok and you get a big enough following, you could probably sell that T-shirt.
That shirt. That's so funny. People are saying you should frame it, put it in your room.
Yeah, you stop washing
it. Superstitious, yeah. But because my logic was, you never know the potential of TikTok, right? 1,000 million, whatever. So I was like, if one of these videos pops off and appears in a different place on the internet, Reddit, Instagram, meme page, wherever, Facebook share, that's where it's going to be important to be recognizable.
Yeah.
And it's like every video, you might have seen one of my videos and then see that one and you can make the connection. Like, I don't know which one you're going to have seen, but it's like, boom, oh, this is that. Brain less work, know? So,
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So my second question that I had, and feel free to jump in on any questions because I've always got I've got a million things to ask. My second question was, so you said this was an original idea, which it obviously is. Have you seen any copycats?
Yeah.
All right. Talk about that.
So there's a couple different kinds of, copycat obviously has a negative connotation to it, but we so like okay, so first of all, I've seen some people that like the idea. Well, before that, I see some people that take the audio and just record themselves lip syncing to it.
Oh,
That's really fun.
That's just TikTok as it
That's
be.
totally cool. That's TikTok. That's normal. I appreciate that. That helps my video do better. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Now there's people that do the thing and put inspired by at BSTCHLD in the caption.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
That's awesome. Great. Cool. And then there's people like Terry Business.
Oh.
This is the first time that I came across someone that blatantly stole the idea to the point where he did the same song that I had just done. Even the text format was like he asterisked the same letters of the swear words because like that's one of the things to cover my ass. I know that I can swear on TikTok, but just cover my bases and make sure I like make the fuck like F***CK.
Yeah.
So he literally took the song. He did that exactly the same, but he wasn't following me. So it's like, okay, so wait, are you trying to like hide from me? Now I didn't see the video, but some of the boys tagged me. It came across on there for you, and they said, "Yo, BSTCHLD, what the fuck, man? Let's go get him." And I was like, and so then I commented because by this point I have I don't know 100,000, maybe 200,000, and I comment on his page. Hey, I'm gonna send the goon, like, cause he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing.
Of course,
he knows what the fuck he did. Right?
Yeah, he's like, this is popular. I'm gonna take that idea.
And that is where I realized later, because this turned into a much bigger thing. I realized later that that's where he was coming from. Was like, oh, this is TikTok. Everybody, there's a trend. People copy each other.
Yeah.
But I was like,
yeah,
I'm like the only one doing this, right? Maybe this is a trend that it hasn't started yet. And so, but to not follow me, you like the idea so much, you're going to do a video on it, but you're like,
you're going to insult me by not even following my page? What are you using, a ghost account?
And the other thing, yeah, exactly, yeah, burner account. And like even when the big, Charlie and some of these, the big time TikTok, when they do a dance that this person made up, they put choreography credit, right? They tag, DC at blah blah blah, and that person obviously gets like 1 million overnight, whatever. But like that doesn't hurt you to do that, you know? Like
no,
I don't know, maybe anyway. So I comment on his video, hey, I'm sending the goons in 15 minutes. Just letting you know. And then I get on I record a TikTok video and I say, friends, we have our second mission. And like I just kind of green screen with him in the back, and I'm like, let's go politely inform Terry Business that not only did he blatantly steal this idea, but his execution also isn't all the way there. But, that's the other thing with ideas, right? Ideas are kind of whatever. Like, I mean, ideas are cool. Ideas are important, but you and I could come up with an idea right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we could come up with a business idea, $1 million idea, right? If you ever hung out with stoners, it's like, dude, what if we had a product that's like, and it's like, but how are we going to execute that? How are we going to build the app? What's the business model? How are you going to make that profitable, right?
Yeah. Like
you could have kind of almost a shitty product that's presented well and sold conveniently that we consume, right? I.e. fast food, whatever, right? So, execution. And so that's where in the back of my mind, once I gained a certain level of following, I was not too worried about that. And also, even if people copy it, I really think that it highlights two of my strengths with speaking and my interest in music, and like, good luck, bro. And so anyway, I sent the goons on him and we just blew him up. Like we ended his career before it started. Like I gave him a lot. I gave him a lot. He didn't have anything else on his page. Like, are you just
really?
making it? Yeah. Like, it's not like he's been experimenting for a while. And he's like, okay, fine, I'm going to try this. It's like, he started the page and they did that. And it's like, bro, you know, give me a shout out. If you give me a shout out, you got my blessing. And then even I tell people to go follow you and cool.
Actually, although having you like destroy him probably got him more attention and more views.
He got more views, but he didn't get a lot of likes. And if you look at the comments, like, yeah, he got views. So
Savage.
if you see 10K, that's cool. Click on the comments. It's not a pretty picture. His followers, the funny thing was his followers did not go up. Like, that was the funniest part to me.
Yeah.
And then the comments are just a zoo in there.
Well, I
it
mean,
was fucking awesome.
if you got one video, you're not going to have many followers to begin with, so...
Yeah.
That's the thing. And a lot of people ask for a shout out. It's like, hey, can you shout out my page? And I'm like, dude, you've never posted anything.
Oh,
or can you follow me? And it's like, or they have 1 or 2 posts. And it's like, let me explain how this works. If I send 1,000 people to your page, they are going to look at your page. They're going to watch the content, and then they're going to decide if they like it. I don't control their opinion. Yeah. Now, if I genuinely like your shit, then I can give my stamp of approval, and I can be confident that, yeah, I mean, like, all you need is a little boost, right? A little kick. I'll give you some exposure, and if people like it. But, like, if I show you my friend that's a trashed rapper, and I say, he's my boy, go check him out, you're not going to just blindly listen to him forever because I told you to.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like him, you don't like him, you know? Yeah.
Some people don't know they're trash.
So
yeah, I mean, to be insensitive to people that are just getting started.
That's true. That's definitely true.
So how long did it take that guy to replicate your video from the time that you made it to him just blatantly ripping it off? Was it like the same day or like within a few days or?
No. It was probably a couple days late. I mean, he probably, that's the thing. I had made the video a week or 2 prior, but he had probably seen it that day. You know, like that's how the For You page works, right? You don't necessarily see the most recent piece of content. That one was doing well. But yeah, I guess so. That's, you know, maybe he had seen a few, or I don't know, but just the way that he literally did it, it was just so clear. Like, he literally asked us the same words. He did all the same things. Like,
yeah. That's so funny because I remember I've told you this a couple of times, but I had that happen to me on YouTube with that guy that stole my. I did a.
Oh,
so everyone was stuck in isolation, right? And I thought, you know what would be really funny? It was actually one of my friends messaged me. He's like, "Oh, there's this guy going at work, and we kind of want to make a Microsoft Teams remix because everybody hates the ringtone of Microsoft Teams."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I've got you, bae." So I just smashed out this really shitty remix.
I thought it was good.
Of Microsoft Teams, right? And I posted it, and like, obviously within like his community, they shared it. You shared it within like our workplace as well. So I got like a few hundred views within like a few hours.
Didn't it get got over 1,000, didn't it? Or like 1,200 or something?
Within a few days.
Oh, okay.
But like within the first day or so, it was like just a couple of hundred, right? Which is awesome on YouTube.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't have many subscribers. But then I noticed somebody tagged somebody, right? And they were like, "Oh yeah, you could do a remix of this like really well." And then the same day, like a few hours after I just posted my video, they dropped their video, which was because I got like a really shitty PNG file of Microsoft Teams logo, and then I just got really terrible stock footage, like on like whatever it was,
dance parties and
just
shit,
like huge concerts and all this, and just had like the Microsoft Teams logo in the middle of all this.
Funny.
Like, it was just the stupidest video I've ever made. But then this guy drops a video, and it's literally exactly the same. He's like done exactly the same thing, but like he's done his own remix, which was like very similar. But like he did exactly the same thing.
He just used you as a template, almost copy pasted everything else.
Yeah.
And
the
then
worst part is
now how was his remix?
Not as good.
I didn't think it was. It wasn't as good. But it has way more views.
Because that was my next question.
Like,
sorry, I should have started with that question. I should have started there.
Super upsetting.
Who cares about quality?
Like, God damn it! This guy like ripped me off.
How much bigger is his following? Are we talking twice as big, 10 times as big?
I don't know. I didn't actually look at his.
He had me up with a couple of thousand at first. I think my video is around the 7,000 or 8,000 now. And
really?
He's just like 10 or 11,000.
Really?
So he's ahead of me. And
Oh,
I'm just
you're
like,
gaining
I
on
see
him,
it as
you're
this
gaining on
race, and I'm like, you stole my idea, but you kind of like marketed it better than me.
Stole my idea, executed it worse, and then marketed it. And that just goes to show what
You're
is
just
the
more
most
popular.
important thing in like marketing,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
or like pushing yourself
in
out
business
there.
is
It's
marketing.
It's not original ideas, and
That's
it's
not
not
personal.
fucking.
So
It's
here's a
not how
perfect
well you
example
execute
of
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's all about marketing.
You've probably heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Oh
Gary
yeah,
V.
yeah.
So when Gary was a kid, he was always entrepreneur. He would like go up to his neighbor's house, pick the flowers out of the front lawn, and sell the flower to the person.
Back
right?
to the person who he stole them from.
He would sell baseball cards, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funny things, how you realize early on he's got this figured out, is starting a lemonade stand and quickly realizing that the quality of the sign is much more important than the quality of the actual lemonade, right? You're a fucking kid selling lemonade, right? But where you set up shop, how nice your sign is, your smile, fuck the quality of the drink. But by the time they get up there, they're already committed. They're not
That's
gonna.
it. They hand you the money
know?
before they taste the lemonade.
Yeah, what are you expecting?
Yeah.
Returning clients a monthly subscription? Like they're gonna give you a quarter and leave.
Mhm.
But like just that concept of, and we know this all the time with rappers, right? Some of these guys that are really popular don't have the talent or the ability that some of these Discord server. Or sorry, I don't know if that's what you're pointing out. But that's
Oh
a
no,
good
no.
idea.
So I was pointing for Trav for
Oh,
one
hey,
of the
James. What's going on,
YouTube
man?
comments for him.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
good man.
So
Um,
yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
So it's funny how that's a really simple version of breaking it down on a very simple level. But you see these rappers that it's like, this guy's not like all that good at rapping, but he's got the chains, the bitches shaking ass, the Rolls Royce, the drone footage music video, and the label's pumping him, so he's got millions of views, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Whereas you got the underground guy that can like rap his ass off, but the mix isn't all the way there. The beat sounds like his boy made it, in his dad's garage with stock sounds, and and you just kind of the production's not there.
Yeah.
And doesn't have the whole package. And who is this guy, right? Whereas like, I like his hair. I like how his hair is all different colors and his teeth are shiny. And like,
Who are you talking about there?
Who possibly? But yeah, I mean, it's just
Actually, I'm going to address something here to the world, and this is a personal view. I fucked with 6ix9ine when I first saw him, when he first came out, and he dropped that first EP. I was like, dude, this dude is actually doing something different, and he's fucking going hard at it. Like,
yeah, I'm a bandwagon 6ix9ine guy.
Yeah.
I fuck with him now.
yeah,
So-
like I didn't like his album though. I didn't like his the album
I
that he
don't remember
dropped
what it's
before he
called,
went to
but-
jail. I thought that was a
with
bit
Kika
trash.
on it. Yeah.
But the singles he's dropped since then have been pretty good. Like his getting out of jail singles. I like them.
I mean, in fairness, he had 2 years to come up with those lyrics, and all he did was,
in jail.
"You're mad, she's mad, he's mad, haha, don't care." It's
That's
like,
given you
damn,
some
but, like,
content, hasn't it?
yeah, I think that one's hit 2 million for me. And it's like, you think his is dumb? I took a small piece of his, and that took me. And it's cool to have some of them that are completely clean, right? Some of them are very explicit. Some of them are almost pushing the lines of like, should I even leave this up, right? But but the 6ix9ine one, I chose a part where they didn't have swearing. It's doing very well internationally. If I look at some of the duets and I look at a lot of the comments, like in different languages, or some of the usernames, or sometimes you can just tell. I can't remember specifically how I'm sure that it's doing well. And sometimes the times too. Like the times that it's getting, at 5 a.m. Americans are, but it's like, oh, that's, the Middle East or Europe's popping off at that time, or, whatever. So that's interesting. It's cool to hit different parts.
I wanted to jump, like, we'll probably end up talking about TikTok and, all that kind of shit for a long time. But I wanted to jump away from that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know how much your fans know about this, but, like, where did you start? Like, because I've talked to you a little bit about this. I've talked to Nick, and he's mentioned how you were always the rapper, and always doing.
Who is Nick?
Beast
That's a
Child the
side
rapper.
question.
Oh, Nick. So Nick Terra, he's up in here Nick
I'm
Gutera.
seeing him in the chat
Yeah,
here.
so he went to high school with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they went to high school
so
together.
these guys are tight.
And
Yeah.
Nick, I think he met me first, and then like he was on my Instagram lives, and we were fucking around and playing music and chatting and shit, and then we kind of all like started chatting and shit. So he's just kind of been around for a while.
Yeah.
So Nick's I was chatting to Nick just before, and we've been tight for a bit, and he was saying that he's known you since high school, and you've always been the rapper. Like you've always been the musician. Now I don't want to bring up any sore memories or anything, but you mentioned
I don't give a shit.
on one of your lives that I was watching that you got booed off stage.
Yeah, homecoming.
At homecoming. Can you tell me about that? Because I've been thinking about that since you did it. Because I've never been booed off stage, and that's something that plagues my mind every time I get on a stage.
You know that you're due for one before you can get to the next.
Yeah, that's it. Like I know it'll happen someday. I mean, that's why I don't go on stage anymore, because I was like, I figure I've come
also
this far without getting
coronavirus,
booed off.
but yeah.
But I want to hear this story. Like, what happened?
Absolutely.
As long as it's not too painful.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Nick didn't see the homecoming thing. Nick was probably too hipster to go to homecoming. So I what's it called? Or too punk rather. But anyway, I'm just thinking right now, this would make a good YouTube video. The time I got booed off stage at homecoming, like people are gonna eat this shit.
Like everybody wants to hear
what a
the fucking
clickbaity title.
Everyone wants to hear the underdog story.
Exactly. Okay, so I had always been rapping. I always rapped, and like these days, right? Everyone has a SoundCloud. Everyone you know is a rapper and a DJ and a producer and Google. I mean, really, the technology has evolved to the point where it doesn't cost that much, and you can just, anybody can do it. At the time, that wasn't really that big of a thing, right? I was like, there's only really a couple people in my area, probably in my school, rapping. There was probably one other kid, making music. Obviously there's a lot of musicians, but like rock bands and shit like that. Even that, right? Nick was one of the few in there, right? But I was really doing it, and that kind of made me a polarizing character. So half the school everyone knew who I was, but half the school population loved me, and half the school population hated me. Like hated me. I would walk down the street going to school, and someone would drive by and be like, "Yo, BSTCHLD, you're the man." And I'm like, "Damn, that's lit. Hell yeah." And then the next car would drive by and be like, "Fucking pussy," and like open a soda and throw it at me. And I would be like drenched in Coca-Cola, like walking.
What?
And I'm like, what a fucking roller coaster. Yeah, literally, like, what the fucking, like, I didn't even see who it was. And I'm like wearing headphones walking, and I'm like, what? And I'm wearing a white shirt, and I'm like, okay, do I go back home and change, or anyway? But that
wait. Can I just interrupt you for 1 second? So BSTCHLD you've had since you were in high school.
Since middle school.
Middle school. So and how old are you now? You're like 27?
27, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So well over 10 years.
Well over 10 years with the same name. That is the most impressive thing that I've heard.
That's the coolest part.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
Like, if you can find a name that you fuck with enough in middle school to still have now, that's fucking awesome. All right, I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah. No, that's lit. So I'm okay. Anyway, but that's just to kind of give context. With that said, the school staff was fully like supported me, right? They know me as like this articulate, like kind of nerdy kid, right? Band geek, fucking cool with like staff. Like I'm cool with the principal, I'm cool with the vice principal, like I'm cool with the attendance lady, and so, whatever. So obviously there's some teachers that I don't like, but for the most part, teachers are chill, right? Whatever. So the vice principal comes to me because I've now performed a few times at school, like at lunchtime when there's a big school rally, and like while people are eating, I'll be on the side with my boy DJing and me rapping, or whatever. And like that is, that alone is a big, you're kind of putting yourself out there, right? You're really like putting yourself on display and inviting all sorts of mixed reviews. but I don't give a shit. Fuck it, right? Cool. So I really had like, damn, dude, what if I performed at homecoming? That had already always been in my head because that's in front of the whole school, and I'm just picturing this super lit, like it's kind of dark light, and I come out there, and everyone's like, oh, and it's, you know, just the fantasies, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be a dream, bro. And definitely had dreams of it at that point, like literal, actual sleeping dreams. So then the vice principal comes up to me, and he's like, yo, what do you think if you like played a couple songs at homecoming? And I'm like, he brought it up. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Duh. Where do I sign? Right? Like, do I pay you in this type of situation? Like, this is fucking incredible. Like, so, you know, that's awesome. Cool. So now I'm like, okay, let's get to work. What songs am I going to do? I can't go for that long. I'm not going to do a full set. I'm not going to do 45 minutes at like a 2 or a 3 hour homecoming dance, right? So it's like, okay, I got to pick my 2 most dope songs. I'm going to do this. Now I'm so fired up. And we're going to kind of keep it a secret, right? Just to top it off. Like, we're not going to announce to the whole school. I'm just going to like pop up on stage and do my thing, right? Whatever. So cool. I got it all set up. Another side note, I didn't party in high school. I don't think I had my first sip, or I know that I didn't have my first sip of alcohol until like junior year. This would have been sophomore year.
Oh,
so sorry.
What age is that? Because we
I'm about to. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
we're Australian as fuck, dude.
We don't
understand any of that shit.
Do you guys have 3 years or 4 years of high school? You know what high school is? Let's start there.
6 years of high school.
6 years, yeah.
Jesus. Well, we have some kids that do 6 years of high school, but it's supposed to be 4.
When do you finish high school?
I finished at 17, but most people finish at 18.
Okay, but you have middle school, which we only have 2. We have primary school, we have secondary school, and that's it.
Which is the same as high school.
And then university after that.
Yeah, then uni. If you want.
So we have elementary school until 5th grade. 6, 7, 8 is middle school, and then we have high school is 4.
So
that's interesting.
So we've got prep, which is like pre-1, and so that you go that when you're like 5, I think. Is it 5? 5 or 6, 5. Prep, and then you've got 1 through 6, which is primary school, and then you got 7 through 12, which is high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there are some schools that combine middle school and high school. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you get the point. Now we're on the last 4 years. We call the first year freshman year. Yeah. Fresh, right? Yeah. Sophomore for whatever reason, and then junior is your 3rd year, and senior. So anyway, to put it more simply, this would have been my second of the 4. Yeah. So that's relevant because there's 2 more after that. Yeah. But I didn't drink high school until my 3rd year. So that's important because I didn't go to parties. I wasn't like, even though I was like liked by half the school, not liked by the other half, and known by all, I was like, by that definition, popular, well known, but I wasn't with the cool kids, right? I didn't like go to parties and shit. I wasn't like in with the fucking top of the food chain, groups. Yeah. Cheers, boys. Yeah, you guys are turning up.
Yeah, we're getting that vodka going.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
I'm
Absolute for anyone who.
Oh, absolutely.
What did you call it? Root beer. Is it root beer?
I don't know.
In America. I mean.
Oh, is it? No.
Where are you, by the way?
Oh yeah,
I'm California.
California.
Oh yeah.
California. Whereabouts in California?
Every time I hear
right now in Northern California, San Francisco area.
Oh, San Fran.
I live in Los Angeles. I grew up here, and then I live in LA. That's where I work. That's where I live. With quarantine and working from home, I was like, oh, let me go like spend a couple weeks in my parents' house, and free food, free beer. Next thing you know, it's 3 months later, and I'm still here. I'm at my parents' house now. That's why I have this big, luxurious bedroom.
Well, let's talk about places we've lived and traveled soon. But I want to finish up this story.
Oh yeah, the homecoming story. Yeah, sorry, I'll keep it moving here. But so anyway, the point of I'm not partying is that like before homecoming, where normally kids are like going to take pictures with their dates and like turning up and getting drunk and smoking weed and all this shit, I'm like just at home, just like making beats and just fucking doing my rap shit. Now I'm like rehearsing. So I go over to the sound check when the DJ's setting up, and he has, the speakers that he has are they're as big as this wall. You like, this guy's a heavy hitter, and it's like, the shit that's bad for your ears.
Oh yeah.
So he's got the towers. And I get in there and I'm like, hey, hi, I'm Beast Child, and he's like, who the fuck are you? Right? He's just like this black guy. And he's like, I'm like, oh, well, I talked to the vice principal. I don't know if he told you, but I'm going to rap. And he's just looking at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. Like, what are you talking about? No, you're not. And I'm like, no, yes, I am. I'm going to do a couple of my rap songs, And he's like, okay, what the fuck? And I'm like, can I plug into your system? And like, can I give you a couple of the songs that you pull up in your Serato? Serato is, I don't know if Serato is still the thing.
Yeah.
Can I give you a couple of these and then that? And he's just like, no. And I'm like, okay, fuck that. I'm going to bring my own speakers. And I have like these like speakers, and I'm just going to, and the speakers are, to say that they're a quarter of the size of his is an understatement, right? They're like, they're like this, they're big.
Yeah.
They're big for a classroom. They're not big for a high school auditorium with 1,000 kids in there. So I bring the speakers over, I do a little sound check, and I just basically communicate to him, look, this is going to fucking happen. The boss said that it was going to happen. The guy that's paying you said that it was going to do it. So just stop being a fucking asshole. He's like, okay, whatever. Okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, lit. And I did it, and like, it sounded pretty good. It sounded loud, right? And I rapped, and I played it with the beat, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be cool. So I went home. I'm like, okay, my time is coming, right? And so then I go to the homecoming, and it's like, I'm just kind of in anticipation. The whole night I'm like, and then we're gonna announce the king and the queen, and we're gonna do the popular kids shit. And then everyone's like, oh fuck, nobody fucking knows. And I'm like, oh, my time is coming. And so then I don't know who I talked to, but it's like, okay, now is the time, we're gonna do it. So then the DJ says, hey, we're gonna have one of your class people, Beast Child, out here. And immediately there's a mix of like some boos and some like yes. But I'm kind of hearing the boos more than hearing the yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm like, I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck the haters. Cool. So I go up there. Now the first thing, I guess, rewind to me walking into the dance, the music was fucking loud, right? And one of my first thoughts was like, my shit is not this loud. But whatever, we're here. Okay, cool. So now I get up on stage and I'm like, let's do this. I think I had an iPod at the time, and I like plug it into the auxiliary, and I hit that sound. I do what you're not supposed to do, 100%, right? I'm just fucking whoop.
Yeah.
So, obviously, even the 10 seconds it takes to plug in, turn on, and play feels like an hour, because he stopped the music and everyone's like looking up, like, and people are like, what's
you hear the pop
like,
of the auxiliary cord go in.
This is giving me anxiety, like, just listening to this.
This is fucked.
So then it's like he's just walking into a buzzsaw. So I'm it starts playing, and I'm like, it is not that loud. Like, especially in contrast with how loud the music was, and the fact that there's like over 1,000 kids, like, and the other thing is they were dancing, bro. Like, they were bumping and grinding, and now they're like, what's going on? And it's like, yo, I was just with this girl, and you're fucking me up, like, that's, and so it's not loud enough when it starts, and I'm like. So then I go back to the speaker. I'm like, high, all the way up, mids, all the way up, lows, all the way. The max is already all the way up. Gain, give me everything.
No. just. Oh no.
And so then
I feel ya.
Right, I'm like, give me more juice. So I'm like, fucking beat drop already. I don't have time for the intro. And then the beat drops, and right when I say something into the mic, it can't handle the volume, so the beat cuts out. You know, like it can't handle the amount of sound I'm asking it to produce.
Yeah.
So when I say something, the beat goes to like 10%.
Oh.
And then like you can't even really hear me.
The speaker's got limiters in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about 15 seconds into the song, you know, and now you start to hear, boo, what the fuck? And then people start throwing water bottles, you know, and people start just throwing shit, you know, if only they had tomatoes,
Oh my
right?
God.
And I'm just like, in my head, like, I mean, I'd done the song hundreds of times to where I'm like, I can be asleep saying the lyrics, but I'm literally thinking like, this could not have gone worse. I don't know how it could have gone worse. I need to get the fuck out of here. What's the point of finishing this song? Like nothing good is coming of this. The sooner this is over, the better for any last bit of integrity or reputation that I could possibly have. And like I'm a second year out of 4, so a lot, you know, half the school is older than me. And like, who the fuck is this guy? And it's like, oh my fucking God, this guy's already annoying. Now he's ruining my, and the thing that I like am just picking up is like, I'm really kind of fucking up their vibe. Like, it's not like I was playing a dance type of song. Like, this is a song that highlights my rapping, right? It's not a song that like is for dancing.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I'm just, I can't remember if I blacked out, right, man? I don't know if I fucking finished that song or if I just said, I think I literally probably said sorry. And then I just fucking like unplugged my iPod and just like walked out and then just ran home. And I lived like a couple blocks away and probably cried. I don't know.
I would have.
Fuck, man, that's
I would have
rough.
cried.
And
So rough.
the most brutal part is that, honestly, the worst part is not that I went to some show in Oakland and got booed off stage. These are kids that I have to see on Monday.
Yes.
And go to high school is fucking judgmental and hard enough, right?
Brutal.
This is now, I have 2.5
Oh, you're cutting out.
more. We lost the stream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
You're
good?
back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
So talking about how 2.5 more years of seeing these people every day, right? And anyway, so that's the story of how I got booted off stage.
I love it. Like
Oh
that.
my God, that's
like-
crazy.
All right. Terrible things that happened at the time.
Yeah.
Could you?
It's gonna make for a great YouTube video.
a great YouTube video. Like, I enjoyed the story. It was fucking an amazing story. And also probably, like, I can't think of one other more character building. Like, if you can do that and then, I know you kept rapping because I've seen your videos. You kept going after that. If you can do that, then fuck. Like, anyone can do anything, really.
A lot of
If
people
you
would've
can
thrown
do
the towel.
that, then a few hate comments on a video
Oh,
is fucking
Nothing.
dog shit. Are
Yeah,
you
exactly.
kidding me? Like, you guys don't know what this shit is like in person, you know?
Yeah.
And then for that to even happen again, and so then communication, right? So when I look back, it's easy to say, wow, they were assholes. But what did I do wrong, right?
Yeah.
If my job is to entertain, I failed on multiple levels, right? The sound wasn't good.
Yeah.
I didn't take into account the vibe. I was only thinking about myself. In a sense, it was a very selfish thing to do because I wasn't thinking what's going to work for homecoming. I was thinking, this is my shot to make it big. Like, bro, what do you mean? Like, you already have half the school's support. Are you trying to convert the haters into lovers by interrupting? So, you know, like, what's the logic there, right? So, like, thinking about the audience, and like, that's one thing you learn in communication. I studied communication. How do you communicate effectively? What does the listener value? What do they want? Where's their head at? Who are they? What do they care about? How long do they pay attention for? And so that's how I do that effectively, you know, but at the time I was like, me. So what do you expect, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I learned a lot about that being in a cover band.
Yeah. All right. So, all right, let's
yeah. Take the floor. Sorry.
Yeah. No. This is good. This is something you
so-
don't know about our man Tiny Vessels, aka Trav over here. So Trav's been drumming live for like how long were you in a cover band for?
We started the band in about 2009, and I left in about 2000. 2019.
So 10 years.
So 10
Let's
years.
say 10 years.
Yeah.
So and we're talking like 3 gigs a weekend. This guy's been on stage for longer than I have been.
3 gigs a weekend?
In our peak, yeah. For a couple of years,
What a
we're doing 3
fucking
gigs a weekend.
crazy ride.
Yeah. So man, like this cunt can drum like.
Love how casually guys throw around
kind,
cunt.
mate.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he can fucking drum. This dude's awesome. Like you should see him.
But like I learned a lot about exactly what you're saying. We played shows to thousands, and then we played shows to no one, and definitely there's occasions where we were just like, everyone was like, "Why is there a band here?" And why are they playing so loudly when we're trying to talk?
Playing at a fundraiser, playing at a car wash. I've played at the
we've done corporate
weirdest
shows where everyone's
places.
just like, "You need to stop," and we're just like, "What do you mean?" We were told to come in here and play like it was a pub gig, but people are just like, "You need to stop playing." We're like, "All right."
When
cool.
when people are politely approaching you, say, "Just please stop." It's like
brutal.
I got like so have you got a story of your most brutal gig? Because I got one after.
I don't know if I've got a most brutal gig.
that's surely mine. So yeah,
But
you
what-
guys,
of
I probably
course,
should have
like,
gone last.
If you got something that beats that, I'm gonna be impressed.
I've got kind of two that are nowhere near as bad as that, but I remember when I was in high school, so a similar era to what you were experiencing. But we were asked, we were like the punk band of high school, right? Me and my friends, we had a, band in high school.
This
right?
is kind of funny because you were the rapper in high school.
I was the drummer.
You were the punk drummer,
Yeah,
and I was the heavy metal guitarist
that's so funny.
That's so funny.
in high school.
We can make a band right now.
That's right. Let's do this.
Completely wrong. Or we can make a kind of punky nu metal band.
Would it just be like Rage Against the Machine? Because that'd be dead.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Jams to be had. But yeah, I was like, we were asked. They were like, "Oh, you guys like, you're playing pretty well, and we're wondering if you guys could do a rock version of the national anthem." And we're like, "Yeah, all right."
Oh my god! All right, so I don't know if you've ever heard.
I don't
this.
know the Australian national
All right, the
anthem.
don't
Australian
need to.
national anthem is actually the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst national anthem out there. It's fucking trash.
It's
like,
the shittest song.
It's a bad song. It doesn't inspire. Like it's not it's not like your guys is like. No, that's Hitler. But like, but you know what I
I'm
mean.
gonna
Like,
listen to it.
don't.
Yeah, I
listen
mean,
to
because the
it.
thing is, in general, well, I'm going to, so you can't stop me. In general, national anthems are like, they're not supposed to be bangers,
I don't
right?
know.
But it's like
There's
you're
something-
really
this-
talking about it like it's on a different on a.
The Australian
new
one is
low,
objectively
if you will.
I
bad.
remember hearing the Canadian one. I was like, not bad.
Yeah, they're like, and I mean the
Even
American,
the American one's not as bad as ours.
No, ours is so bad.
Ours is trash. Anyway.
Anyway,
So we were like, how the hell are we going to do this without just sounding like complete idiots? So I don't know if you remember Guitar Pro. Do you remember Guitar Pro? So we had Guitar Pro 5. Right?
Yeah, me too.
And we just fucking go ham on like the tabbing. We start tabbing in the national anthem in Guitar Pro. We're just like, oh, how are we going to do this?
Guitar Pro.
Remember that shit? Do you play guitar?
No,
or?
I don't. I don't play piano.
So Guitar Pro is like
I know what tabs are.
yeah. So it's
It was the tab program.
It's a tab program, but it would
It's
also
a program.
yeah, it would play the MIDI for you as well. So you
Yeah.
could tab it in, but then you could also play it. So you could hear what.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
and it sounded trash.
in today's standards, it's like nothing. But like back then, it was like
great.
it was what you used
I
to
wrote
like.
full songs in Guitar Pro all the
Oh,
time. It was
same,
great.
same.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is an industry shifting. But it gives industry shifting potential because you can literally do anything and now have tabs for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
yeah, and it was huge. It was like,
massive. It was a huge program amongst musicians. But that's what we used for songwriting, and that's what we used to figure songs out as well. There was no tabs back then or YouTube videos to be like, this is how you play that video. You just have to figure it out. So
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did, and we.
I
figured
remember,
it out.
and just really quick while we're just on that still, I remember just being a pianist, if you will, and just like, I wish there was a tabs equivalent. Like they would write chords, and like I came from a classical background, and that was one of the things I struggled with in jazz was when it said like, C7D9 or whatever, all these like things. And I was like, damn, like, and then just for guitarists, how they could like read tabs, and then you could basically learn any song, just like boom. And it was like, damn, like I kind of either wish that I was able to do. I wish there was something like that for piano, but there was, but I wasn't good at it. But I just kind of envied that potential.
Yeah.
Noisy. That's a good point by Nick. I mean, we should have done that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like he just said we should go to Instagram Live, and what I'm going to do to make that happen is just Instagram Live and show the screen that we're watching here. So I don't know if if that's going to work.
Is that going to get audio from both sides?
Well, it'll get you from the speakers, and it's going to get us from us talking. So hopefully,
cool.
Yeah. It'll be something.
I should have had the homecoming story. But no, that's good that I didn't do the homecoming story for Instagram Live, because I can then YouTube it.
Yeah, no,
you definitely should.
You should do both.
Back to me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all it's about.
So we're doing the Instagram Live?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw the live on there as well.
Nice.
Just so that we've got...
Yeah, we've got some good people. I mean, we've got obviously I say good people, like all the numbers we had to begin with on Twitch are still here. YouTube's still going strong.
This is like the trashiest live you've ever seen. It's
this is lit. This is lit. Twitch
is the most
people,
DIY.
But it doesn't matter.
If people are in the Twitch, thank you so much. Your work makes my day all the time. Wow, that's awesome. Twitch people, yeah, I'm gonna make a YouTube. The people that are here from Twitch, what are you guys thinking? Yeah. Are you guys vibing with this? Obviously, you're still here, so you must not be hating it. But love to get some feedback. Anthony Games has been active in the chat. Nick's obviously in here. But Ryan is Moneyman 118.
He's our man.
I don't know if there's...
All right, there's people joining on already. We've got some people up there. For anyone who's watching on the Instagram Live, we are just streaming what we're doing on YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, super DIY, so deal with it.
Just maximizing our content as much as possible.
You will watch it and you will like it.
Are you able to turn that laptop to face the computer? I mean, I'm sure you already optimized.
Are you watching my... Are you watching...
I just asked to... I don't even have to join.
You don't have to join. No, you don't have to join. You're just going to leave it there playing on the thing. Unless...
fuck it. If I join, then my people will be notified. That was kind of logical.
If we join together, and then you don't have to just have it facing each other, but then turn both of our volumes down, then
I have headphones on, so you. Yeah, but how would you hear me?
Because we'd hear you on the just as we're talking now.
Right. Yeah, but then are they going to hear me twice?
All right, you figure this out. I'm going to go take a whiz.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm going to take the traditional Travis P break.
Yeah, that's all right. You take a whiz. I don't think it'll matter if they're hearing you twice anyway. It'll be fine. All right, so if we
if I join, Twitch. I mean, obviously, the people that are here on the Twitch are very much. You guys are ride or die.
Ride or die.
We're not going to die, so we're going to ride. Actually,
it doesn't matter if they hear you twice on the speakers. I think it'll sound fine, and they'll tell us if it's trash anyway.
Because they'll hear me, and then they're going to hear me delayed on the speakers. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because they're going to hear me instantly when I speak, and then they're going to hear, so if you turn the speaker on, but those both need headphones. Maybe if you throw me right there.
Yeah, if we put you over here, I'm going to switch this around. And hopefully it'll be far enough away from the speakers that it'll be okay. All right, let's add you in and see what happens. And Nick, can you tell us if this is trash or not?
Yeah, Nick, be quick on the trigger here.
Yeah, Nick, just let us know if this sounds awful or what happens. We're trying to get him as far away from the speakers as possible.
So I've got you turned down on my phone.
And I've got you turned down as well.
All right. So I do feel like there's going to be an echo. I'm already hearing an echo.
Okay. What? How are you hearing an echo? There shouldn't be an echo. Because you can't.
He's hearing himself through that phone there.
Yeah. Okay. Like you can't turn it
down
all the way.
Speaking,
how weird is that?
Going through the speakers and then coming back through the phone.
How weird is it that you can't turn it down like all the way on this thing? We had this problem before. Yeah, we had to end up plugging in headphones to it to stop it from making any noise.
It's coming in on Echo with Beast. Yeah.
All right.
So if you're hearing me twice, we're gonna have to just stick to the Twitch thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Everyone who's on Instagram.
Turn
Live,
off Twitch. Nick says just fuck the Twitch stream, but I mean we have some
the
people
Twitch.
on Twitch.
That's where the podcast is going. Maybe we can continue this after we finish our Twitch
Yeah,
stream.
exactly.
And join on something afterwards. All right. Well, catch you all later. People on Instagram. Oh, we'll let it jump. Ah, fuck it. Let's get rid of it.
All right, fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to delete that because that's not really worth keeping. Anyway, let's keep going. So we were talking about trash gigs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The
Let's hear the
assembly.
worst ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up performing. So we ended up figuring it out in Guitar Pro, and we performed this track
Yeah.
That's right.
live. in
The
front of
national
fucking-
anthem.
There must have been 1,500 kids. It was terrifying. We were like so terrified, and we trashed it. Like it was pretty bad. But like everyone was kind of like when we finished, everyone was kind of like,
Like, what just happened?
and we were just kind of like, oh, oh no. So we kind of just had to get out of there. Similar, I felt like a similar, not to the extent that the game experience, but
Oh, man.
yeah,
But
that was bad. Nothing like after feeling that kind of a thing. It's just like nothing's really that bad anymore.
No. Like,
It can't really get worse.
once you've experienced a truly trash gig, everything else feels okay. So I used to play acoustic covers live. That was what I kind of did before I went to Canada and then came back and did this. Actually, I did it in Canada as well. I just used to do a lot of live acoustic gigs. I used to run open mic nights and play.
Such a noisy move, hosting an open night. I love that.
Dude, you should. Man, I was hosting so many open mic nights. I used to have a weekly
Yeah.
one and like at various venues and shit. I was doing all that shit. But I used to just play a lot of covers and they'd pay me a little bit here and there. It wasn't anything to live on, but it was a good amount of fun. And I went to New Zealand in the snow season to go snowboarding one year, and I thought, fuck, I should set myself up a gig and make myself a little bit of money over there while I'm, just to for fun. So I set up this gig before I left, and this venue, they were paying me $200, nothing special, but an alright amount for someone who, they have no idea who the fuck I am. To play some acoustic covers. And Nick's saying he used to do covers too. Yeah, my G.
Yeah, who doesn't, right? I mean, you got to give people
do the
stuff that they've heard of.
That's it. And so I organized this gig over in New Zealand, and this was months before I left. And then I went there, and I got so sick, going up there. I don't know what happened, but I got really sick on the way over, and I was trash all day. And then I decided to, for some stupid reason, to start day drinking the day of the gig.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I got,
the day of the gig.
the day of the gig. And I got trashed. And then, but I wasn't drinking and as much as I normally would and not be trashed, but because I was sick.
You were pacing yourself.
Yeah, well, I was sick, and the sickness kind of just wiped me out. So I probably only had 5 or 6 drinks, but I was done, bro. I could I don't know what happened. And I went and played this gig, and I was sick. My voice was fucked. I couldn't, I'm pretty bad at pitching anything anyway, but I couldn't pitch anything. Everything was fucking cactus, and everything was bad.
I was gonna say,
so
no one knows what
cactus
the hell you're
means.
talking about.
Everything was bad. Sorry, Trav pretty much introduced the word cactus to me as something bad, and I use it all the time. Anyway, and I went and played this. Started playing this gig, and I had 2 sets, 2 45-minute sets, and I played the first one, and everyone's just looking at me what the fuck are you doing? And I'm
Pretty fun.
and I'm just I just kept going, and then I finished the set, and I just I could just tell that everything's bad, and the guy just comes over and he's like, hey, it's it's pretty quiet. Do you want to just not worry about the second set?
Oh, no.
And I was Yeah,
wanna
I do want to not worry
it?
about the second set, and I just like packed up my shit. I just went home, and it was still like 9 p.m. at this
Yeah, I
point.
mean, it's the same. It's the thing. Obviously, mine was to a lesser degree, but it's like,
It was just that like
I'm scheduled for 3 songs, and 20 seconds into the first one, they're throwing shit at me.
yeah,
So
you
it's
just
like-
I didn't have anyone throwing shit. My people were a little bit
Right.
more kind than that.
right,
But like
yeah.
I could just tell that they were just like, you are so bad. We don't even like like they paid me the full amount, but they were like, you are so bad that we don't want you to play.
In fact,
the rest
we will
of
pay
that
you a little
music.
bit more to just leave now and never come back.
Yeah. That's it. And I was just like, this is so bad. I just went home, went to my bedroom, and all my friends who were there, like snowboarding with me for the weekend, they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Fuck off." I'm out for the night. Like I don't want to see anyone.
That's so
This is
funny.
like the worst
Damn.
day of my life.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, that was a low for me too.
Yeah, it's good though. It's character building.
That's it.
Yeah,
The good thing is,
Makes for a
is,
great
like, it
story
doesn't
when you're
get any
sitting back
worse.
drinking, and
it does make a fucking great story. It's pretty funny.
that's one of my go-to questions when musicians or even my boys that are rappers that like, if we're on a live like this and I just want to like what's it called, incite conversation, right? Tell me your worst fucking gig, right? And it's like it always brings up a good story.
And no one can beat your story.
I mean,
Oh.
it's not a one-up situation, obviously. Some people, I don't know. Some people are in front of. Actually, no, people can't beat my story. One of my boys was booed off stage when he was opening for YG. you know?
Oh, okay.
And then he was opening for YG, and Faded Sway's in here, my boy. So he was opening for YG,
Fuck.
and which is peak career moment at that point easily. And it's in SoCal. It's in LA, obviously. And it's YG and this rapper named Kyle. I don't know if you.
Oh, yeah, I know
familiar with
Kyle.
He goes by Super Duper Kyle at the time, and now he's just shortened to Kyle. And so, homie goes up, and they're drinking. He's drinking with YG and Kyle before the show. Like that's lit. So he goes up. He does the first song. He does the second song. Third song, beat comes on. He goes completely blank, and he's just like, I have no fucking idea what the verse is. Like we've all experienced that, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of plays it off when the verse starts and he's supposed to be in. He kind of like looks at the DJ like, "Hey man, are you gonna rap?" Like just trying to redirect, but like, it's one of those tracks where there's the instrumental and the ad libs are in the track. There's just no vocal, but the fact that there's ad libs, you can tell that someone's supposed to be rapping here, and like, like the beat dropped and you didn't start rapping. Same way he played off, but the crowd starts booing. It's
Savage.
really bad. It's bad, and so then it's just terrible. Somehow he gets through that song, he gets through the next song, and just goes off, and then he's just like in the back, and it was just obviously terrible. And he actually said that he ran into Kyle later that night at In-N-Out by sheer coincidence. In-N-Out Burger, which is a big deal
wow.
for.
Yeah.
So anyway, he sees Kyle like across the way, and then Kyle sees him, and Kyle's just like snickering to his boys, like, "No, that's that fucking idiot that fucked up." And like he's just like, "Fuck." So it's safe to say he didn't get invited back by YG and Kyle to open for them.
Damn.
That's worse, I guess.
That's pretty
But, I mean,
savage.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh shit.
yeah. I can't think of much worse than that.
Yeah, that's bad.
But you had a thought.
I had a thought because like we were playing a gig in Ringwood actually,
Oh yeah.
which is like a suburb near Melbourne, and we were playing. It was just towards the end of our third set, I believe, and this is in the cover band, and it was a pretty rough area, but like there wasn't many people in the venue. There was maybe like 20 people on the dance floor. And then there was like people scattered throughout the venue, but it was a massive room, so it was like it felt empty. It always felt empty because it was such a huge room. But we were playing, and all of a sudden, this fight just breaks out, right? And it was kind of at the bar, so like, the bar staff kind of like start wrestling with this guy at the bar, and then security come in.
I've never thought about how a fight affects the performer, because
We're
you know,
like
fight.
we're like in between songs. No.
Yeah, and it's
We were
like
playing something like it was something ironic as fuck. I think it was Eye of the Tiger. It was ironic as fuck.
Just
play
get
the
riled
Rocky
up to Eye of
theme
the
song.
Tiger.
This
So
guy
we're playing
just
Eye of
thinks,
the
yeah.
Tiger, and people are like almost punching in time. Dun, dun, dun. And then the security come all pouring in, and then it's just a full-on brawl just starts
We're shooting
in front of
videos.
us. And we're playing Eye of the Tiger, and then like this, it's
Like
all
doing,
fighting.
keep
So
playing.
we obviously just stop. We're just like, this is
Right.
fucked. And then I kind of just said to like Elliot, the guitarist, I was like, should we just like start playing Rage or something?
Fuck you! I won't do what you tell me.
He's like, we should probably cut it off right here. And I'm like, damn it! I'm like,
Should we play like Kumbaya next or something like
Why
that?
can't we be friends?
yeah, why can't
Yeah,
we
exactly.
be friends?
What a wonderful world. You know.
Imagine that.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
God damn.
but that one was something.
That's so
Where
funny.
A brawl just started in front of us. We
That's
didn't know
really
what to
funny.
do.
I've seen a couple of brawls break out at the ESPY during sets there. That was a classic one.
Yeah.
There's a place near us called the ESPY. It's like an iconic Australian venue, a Melbourne venue, and they had this like thing with the security, just always just like got into it with everyone. So there'd be fights fucking all the time.
Yeah.
I'd love to be on stage when the fight broke out. I don't know, jump in there and start punching on.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another story. All right. Another gig story. This is funny. This is during a metal gig. So, during one of the shows I was doing when I was a kid, I was playing this gig, and my mate's band started playing. And when we were kids, I had a much bigger following than I do now. I don't know what it is, but when I was a kid, we did pretty well. We had this like pretty decent metal following of like other kids. And we were like, used to play all the underage shows in like big halls and shit. We had this packed hall, and I'm talking like 500-600 kids, or packed hall. And I got on stage with my band, my friend's band, who was playing this Metallica song, and I forgot what track it was, Creeping Death, and I was like jumped up and was doing backing vocals or some shit just for like I don't know, I was like stupid and just jumped up and decided to help him out, and then like stage dived into the crowd, which the security didn't like. So one of the security guards grabbed me, and I was in the band, like I was in one of the bands, but they didn't know that. They grabbed me and dragged me out of the venue, but like they didn't realize that half of the crowd were my fans, and so security started dragging me out. And then all of my fans, who are these fucking rowdy ass kids that have been listening to metal all night, decide to start fucking
Rebel.
punching on with security. And so like this massive fight between my fans and the security broke out. And my parents are at the back of the venue watching. And they were just like, the whole place just turned to this shit fight, and it's all your fault.
That's so funny.
And I didn't see any of it because the guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fair. It's your fault. But
It was my fault. It was 100%. I stage dived when I know I shouldn't have done it. But
yeah.
The guy had dragged me out so quickly that I didn't see any of it. I was outside in the cold, in the quiet. I had no idea what was going on. And inside, everyone's fucking punching on with the security and having a brawl. And I had to make a statement and all that shit to the organizers and all this stuff to tell them that I wasn't treated badly. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was treated alright, considering.
Yeah, you okay.
Yeah. That wasn't a bad gig. That was just a funny gig.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Sick.
That was probably the most rock and roll moment of my life.
Yeah, it is definitely rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, stage dive. I can't say I've ever stage dived.
Oh
You know,
man.
it's funny when people try and stage dive at a cover gig.
Oh.
I've had
The stages are this high.
Well, at the Wilbur in St Kilda, it was pretty high. It was like at least a meter. And some guy just ran up one night and just full on dove into like the because it was a pretty busy pub as well.
Yeah.
It was packed, and he just ran up the stairs, ran onto the stage, and just dove out into the middle of the crowd, and everybody just kind of parted as they saw him in the air, and he's just going, what?
Because this isn't a rock and roll crowd.
That's the nightmare. That's why people don't do it.
This is the crowd that he's talking about. They're not rock and roll crowd. They're like bumpers and grinders. Like
Exactly. They're
like
there to sing along and pick up.
Yeah,
You know what I
they're
mean?
like, and I know because before I knew you, I was in that crowd watching your band trying to pick up chicks. Like,
And if you see a guy diving into the crowd, you're just going to
you're just like, fuck this. I'm out of here.
He just face planted the dance floor. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh.
Yeah, the thing is, if you don't have enough people, if it's, I'm not going to catch someone by myself, right? So it's like you're your own liability here. But yeah, I mean, you need a big audience for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and a big audience that cares enough to
It
catch.
needs to be dense.
Yeah, that gives a
exactly.
shit, yeah.
Have you ever seen The Bronx, the band The Bronx?
No.
Oh my god. They have the most intense mosh pits I've ever been in my life. It's the only band I will actually go into the mosh pit for anymore, and I know I'm gonna get like kicked in the head several times
Like
that night.
moshed. Yeah.
I'm gonna get fucked up.
The last mosh I went into was King Gizzard at Laneway.
Ah.
And that shit was just fucking
Do you guys
solid.
do you know King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?
No, but try to say it fast 10 times.
They're probably Australia's one of their biggest exports right now, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so they're a band from our hometown, but and your friends, but they're massive over in America right now. Like
Huge.
Oh yeah.
they're preachers of the do a fucking lot of work philosophy. They put out, how many albums was it in a year?
A couple of years ago, they released 5 albums, I think, in 1 year.
5 albums in a year, like
That's for nuts, man.
and these dudes, they just fucking do anything. Like they'll change up style for an entire album. They'll just do whatever the
It's
fuck.
crazy.
They want.
Lit.
And they've got
If you're into like psychedelic kind of rock or whatever, well, I can't really
That's
define them
really
in one
interesting to-
category, but yeah.
like
I like changing that up that much. I think that's lit.
Like the last
I
album they did
think
was kind of
that-
metalish.
yeah.
If you have fans and you change up your style for an album, you're not going to lose those fans as much as you might just have those fans not be interested in that album and then
Exactly.
check out your next release and bring them back.
If you got
this is
fans
a-
that leave you because you change up your style, you're either not doing it right or your fans suck.
Yeah, or you, yeah, and like I was talking to a guy earlier today that was like, whenever I post comedy videos, they don't do well on TikTok, but when I post these stupid videos like, pay attention, don't leave. Okay, you want to gain a lot of followers today? Like, comment, and share this post, and then follow these 3 accounts, and you'll get more followers. Like, it's like, for some reason, those videos do really well, and I get more followers on those days. And then I post a comedy video, and I lose followers. And I'm like, okay, well, this is simple. You're gaining shit followers when you do the bullshit,
Exactly.
stupid, like,
That's what I was going to say.
and it, like, dishonest, in a sense, thing.
Yeah.
And you got, you do it.
It's not sustainable. It's not.
Exactly.
It's not a sustainable model.
Well,
where-
I'd rather get one true follower that will stay around and be an actual fan of my page per week,
Yeah.
rather than having 20 that are just there for follow
Dude, the
for
people
follow
that are in
bullshit,
here
you know
on
what
the
I mean?
Twitch, right? We're not looking at thousands in here, but these guys that are like, I wish this
Oh, we lost you.
conversation like that.
We lost you a bit there. Sorry.
Say
Am I
again.
back?
You're back.
Even the numbers that we have in here and the type of comments like, this is so awesome, I wish this conversation would go on forever, like that is more meaningful to me than 30 people commenting first right when I drop a video. I appreciate that because it stimulates engagement, it pushes my video out more, it ultimately helps my business. But if you're talking about like having an impact,
Oh,
We lost him.
I've lost you again. Oh
God
no, he's
damn.
frozen.
you lost me again.
Sorry, yeah, we lost you again. Sorry, mate.
But having
no,
an
it's all good.
impact.
Having an impact. So
Having an
having
impact,
someone
yeah.
come to you and say, hey, that song you made helped me through a hard time, or that album you made like actually like really changed my life, or like that is so much more meaningful than
Totally.
1,000
Oh, I think we're dealing with some shitty connections.
streams and oh shit.
Sorry, we're living in Australia where they refused to upgrade the internet properly here, so
That's right.
we're dealing with the worst fucking internet in the first
I
world.
hate to say it's a you problem, but I have really good Wi-Fi
It's
here.
Yeah,
100% not you.
100% us. It's just and also I got two housemates in here who are probably doing video calls at the same time as well.
Classic.
So we've got a bit going on.
That's all right. I wanted to throw back to you.
Ooh.
Because I wanted to see like what you kind of have in store for your like the future of your TikTok, and I know that you mentioned your YouTube channel. Do you currently have the YouTube channel already up and going?
So the YouTube channel is up and running. Kind of relays back to what Noisy was talking about, even maybe before we started and at the beginning. I have music videos up there from 2012, 2013.
Yep.
I released an album that's on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Google Play. If you even just search BSTCHLD, the way I write it, BSTCHLD, right? That's out there. So my YouTube channel, I just kind of used the same one. I kept that going on brand. And I mean, the first YouTube video I posted in 7 years was how I got 200,000 followers in 2 weeks on TikTok.
Yeah.
Another nice clickbaity title, but that's a true story. And it's different when you gain 200,000 in 2 weeks, when you already have 500,000 versus starting at 75,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of the direction of the YouTube is, let me give my 5 tips for growing on TikTok. That's a good YouTube video, right? How I got booed off sophomore homecoming. And just kind of more of the story time stuff.
Yeah.
And, I just got my Twitch fired up. Obviously, you see me commenting here. That's my Twitch account. So the thing is, as hope you can tell, I'm intellectually capable of much more than pussy shit motherfucker, bitch. So it's like, luckily, as I gain an audience, I can leverage that to sports. That's, did we lose him again?
We're good.
We're
back. We're back.
If you're not into sports, that's okay. But I don't think I'm going to lose fans if I have an NFL preview for week 3 and I give my picks on every game. And like in my throughout my life, I've had 2 different times where I had a podcast about the NFL, once after college. And I have a lot of different interests. I have a lot of different things that I want to talk about, can talk about, right? Then there's the whole psychology, mental health side. There's the whole comedy and just like funny shit, right? And so how do I go about that? I'm kind of taking my time. Just like having spent a lot of time in my life creating, that things happen organically, just like this YouTube thing the TikTok thing organically came to me, and it was just really obvious that I need to keep doing this. And then from there, I made this funny little comedy video because people ask like, why do you do these rap videos? And it's like, I do them because they're getting fucking tens of thousands of views in minutes, and there's 100,000 followers, and I think they're funny. And it's like, but I don't see the point. It's like, okay, well, do you see all of the people that are engaging with it and everybody that's saying we love these? And it's like, just stop doing these. Like, just block me. And so like, I thought that was a funny comedy video, like the interaction.
Like, is the time that you've spent making that video less important than the time that he's spent dissing you about that video? Like, what the fuck is your point? Get the fuck off my page.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when there's a lot of different ways to address this, but it's funny when someone says this is shit content, and then you open up their page and it's like,
yeah, this is shit content.
I don't take the time to do that, but like,
no.
As a consumer, just like I'm sure Trev and very quickly, is it Trev or Trav?
Trav.
Sorry.
It's Travis, just like Travis Barker.
Travis, just like Travis Barker. Yeah, Travis Barker, Travis Scott, right? So just like you saw a stupid video on your day one, what'd you do? You swipe past it. Mm-hmm. You didn't fucking go comment, this is dumb. Like that guy that commented that probably watched it twice, and then while he's commenting is rewatching it, and he's actually communicating to TikTok indirectly, I like this, because you watched it and you commented. You can hold on the video and press not interested. You can block me, or you cannot watch shit that you don't like. You know, so there's a lot going on there. Psychologically, this person's not in a great place. Happy people that are in a good place in their life do not take the time to tell strangers you suck.
Oh,
you know,
or that they're just not into what you're doing.
Yeah, or they're not into it. I don't comment on makeup videos. This is dumb. I don't like this. Like, I don't watch it.
I don't know what to tell you.
There's some people that say, hey, no disrespect at all, but I don't understand why this is popular.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like, that's fair. And you know, maybe read some of the comments. Like, obviously I can't respond to every single one of those, but my response to that would be, it's an ironic, different interpretation of a song. I find it funny because it's like,
you should respond with your humor is not advanced enough to understand what's going on.
Yeah,
like,
it's like they weren't coming from a bad place. They were genuinely curious, and it's like, I'm not coming from a bad place either, but you're just, you know, you're not at that level of, you know.
Yeah, but honestly,
either,
like
but
they don't understand the comedy, and it's, I mean, that's not a diss on whoever they are, but like, they shouldn't be dissing because they don't understand the comedy. I don't like.
Well, and it's not that they're dissing,
because
sometimes, right, and sometimes it's like, hey, I really am just curious why this has 100,000 views, and it's like, well, you know, there's also a few different elements. So the lighting's good, right? I'm like, did my hair, and I'm doing this, and I like am speaking well, you know, it's the text is popping up at I don't know, the little things are done correctly. But why are people saying this guy's a legend, this guy's the GOAT, you know, whatever? And it's like, well, it's not for you. You know, I don't know. I don't understand the makeup video, but when I look at the makeup, the before and after, it's like, I get it. She is more attractive now, or, you know, has covered up X, Y, and Z, or like she's camera ready, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, she's done these steps in a way to change her from it's like, man, like I feel like makeup is art, and it's like the hardest form of art that you can do, because it's like on yourself. And I know because my wife used to work for a skincare company, and like does all that kind of stuff, and I know how painstaking some of that shit can be, but yeah, it's art, and like you can tell the people who do makeup well versus the people who can't, and those are the chicks that are attractive versus the ones that aren't.
Yeah, my girlfriend's really into it, and like it.
But seriously, if you good makeup can turn someone who is very, very average looking into someone who's fucking banging, and you know that's art, isn't it?
Yeah, it is art. Like
just like being a producer, you can turn a song that's trash into something that's listenable.
Less trash. You can take a random sample and make a fire beat. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, there's can I be a mod for you? What are you gonna mod? There's not enough.
Well, I think as he asked me, am I gonna start streaming? And I was like, yeah.
Man, you should start streaming.
I mean, this is fun. I like. I'd love to turn the tables around and just one day have a stream with on my thing, and you guys are the guests. Yeah.
We did there was a meme that came up. You showed it to me, and it was like guy that turns 30. Hey, we should start a podcast. We'd literally said like a week before, we should start a podcast. We've been doing this for a little bit now, but like it is fun. It's fun just fucking getting on to a camera and chatting with people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we've done it in the same room as each other.
It is, yeah.
We normally do it.
Restrictions have been lifted here.
Where you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've just had our coronavirus restrictions lifted, so we're allowed to see each other.
To get that second wave popping, am I right?
That's right. That's happening.
Actually, yeah, no, we've just had some restrictions reintroduced because of that.
No, and I don't mean to suggest that you guys are being irresponsible, but
no,
it is ironic how it's like, oh, we can go? Okay, everybody in the club right now. It's like, okay.
Man, have you like, I don't want to talk, I hate talking about coronavirus stuff on stuff, but have you seen Australia's stats compared to the US stats?
I can't imagine that anything's worse than the US, but
nothing is like we're doing just fine. We've had like we've had 100 deaths,
Wow.
like total in the whole country.
Yeah.
Like
That's amazing. I mean, you hate to say, those are all 100 people that, lost their lives, but
yeah, but like it's
my girlfriend's Kiwi. I don't know if you're familiar with that story.
they're fucking doing.
They're smashing it over
They-
there.
They're
like
doing the
we were
best.
like, let's flatten the curve. They're like, let's just erase the whole curve and put the graph in the shredder.
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah. They kind of did what we did, but like neck level.
They did it way before we did it.
Yeah, they were just like
it's in fairness, it's easy when you have a population of 6 million, which is the population of LA alone. US is also 23 trillion in debt. Not to get all political and shit, but the main thing is the response time, right? So they had 0 deaths. They had less than 50 cases, and they said let's shut down for 4 weeks and send everybody a check.
Yeah,
And it's like,
and
okay,
also
obviously,
They just shut their balls.
also like this ain't a diss to you Americans or anything, but like you guys protesting staying at home.
It's unbelievable.
Some of
man.
those
Unbelievable.
dudes, I
mean, it's
saw some of
actually
those
quite
videos, and people are like, "Fuck you! You can't tell me to stay home." It's like, bro, people are dying. Like, stay the
It's
fuck
like, I don't
home.
think you understand. Yeah.
But it's,
And the thing is, you have different states, right? So that's the complicated part of the
Yeah.
U.S. You have the federal level, and then each state,
oh, lost you.
city within the state. We're coming back.
Oh yeah,
There
gotcha.
you go. Yep.
So each state can do its own thing as long as they're abiding by the federal, and then each city can do as long as they're abiding by the state. And the federal didn't really say anything. Really, they just kind of said, "Please, we think that sometimes this," and the states are like, so we can do whatever.
Yeah.
Some states are like, people are dying. Some states are like, I can't tell an American not to go to work. Okay. So it's like, God damn. And then the thing, we have some states that are shutting down and like trying to control, and you have some states that are like, fuck it. So now the funniest metaphor that I've heard is people that say it's like having a peeing section in your swimming pool. So it's like, okay, you can go in that corner, and if you're gonna pee, go over there, and we're gonna be over here. It's like
It's
not how that
all
works.
gonna end up in this. Yeah, that's a funny fucking metaphor.
That
too.
is a great analogy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
like-
awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, let's stop talking about coronavirus stuff. I'm sick of
Yeah.
that shit.
Fuck
No,
coronavirus.
Let's
no,
talk
no,
about
here.
art and shit. So
Yeah.
you're a
Let's talk about art and shit.
yeah, dude. If
Yeah,
you're gonna join it. So you're a rapper, and you've been rapping for a while, and you've released all these videos. How much are you doing these days? Now that you're TikTok famous,
Right.
like what's the rap? What's happening with the rap? Like, are we going to see a new BSTCHLD album coming out? Are we
There's
quitting our job
obviously
and going
a growing
music full
demand
time?
for it, right? The reality is that I haven't been active in rapping for a while.
How long?
I haven't. I've written 3 or 4 verses, 4 or 5 verses in the past 6 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay.
So we're talking a while.
So we're talking literally like I dropped that album called Matter of Choice. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Google, SoundCloud, whatever.
Yeah.
Since then, I completely pivoted into a sports podcast about sports betting,
Yeah.
punting, as they say across the pond.
Yeah.
And so that was just 100%. That was my focus. That's what I was going for. Like sports journalism, these conversations. That's interesting to me. This is a new frontier now that betting is becoming legalized in the U.S. Anyway, that was 100% my focus.
Yeah.
And I was not afraid to switch. It's like, but all this rapping ability that I have is going to waste. It's like, I'm a complete person. I do different things, whatever. Blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
It's not like I fucking have that big of a following. Now, there are people that are like, we want more BSTCHLD, but it's like, not enough,
Okay. So
And so
you're done with rapping.
I'm not saying that's where I was at.
Okay.
But then, I did the podcast for a couple of years. I got this job at Hulu. My boy got a full-time job in radio, and the podcast served as a springboard for his professional career.
Oh
And
wow.
because of the podcast, he now has a full-time job in radio, in sports radio in Portland, Oregon.
And he left you behind like a
Yeah, I'm like,
motherfucker.
this guy went big time on me, bro. Like, yeah, fuck the
Oh,
podcast. This
shit.
guy's on
What
AM
a piece
radio.
of-
You know?
Let's fucking spam his shit and fuck him
Let's
up.
head on over to
Blow him up, bro. Like, listen here, bro. You're coming back and you're doing this podcast for our 20 listeners. Okay, I want to hear it. And so, in that sense, I saw the podcast as a victory after 2 years. Look how selfless I am, right?
Yeah.
I'm just out here just charity. But like honestly, like I'm glad that he was able to get out of the gym he was working at, and now he's doing what he likes to do, right? And so then for me, I still have the ability to rap. So you always get that spark of inspiration, and I don't have anything to do for the next 2 days. It's like, I write a verse, record it, put it out. People are like, oh my God, he's back. And I'm like, I'm not back. I just wrote a 32 bar verse and spit it, whatever, and I can put it on Instagram and whatever. So I still have the ability to rap. My most recent TikTok, not my most recent, before I popped off, I did a TikTok where I rapped, where I like spit a whole verse over that song Savage. I'm a savage. Classy, bougie, ratchet. And so that beat, and I spit 59 seconds, just bars, just nonstop.
I do remember that.
I sent you that, actually. Now I realize you played it on one of your streams. And that obviously didn't do any better than any of my other videos, which is obviously a disappointment, because I'm like, yo, this is actually good. Like, if only you guys would listen to this.
Yeah.
Now people are going back and going
you had
back
the
through my whole
emojis and shit popping up.
dropping the emojis.
Yeah,
the stimulus, right? These are,
Yeah,
and so
I remember that video because I remember looking at it and being like, the production value of this is next level. Like, despite the fact that it was just a TikTok, like a short TikTok video.
I put this
text.
mic off camera right in front of it. I mastered it, and I did just the little things, but the whole point is to make it seem like it's spur of the moment, turned on the camera.
Yeah,
but, you hear the beat in the background. I'm clearly like using a professional mic,
Yeah.
But it's all supposed to look casual.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with all this stuff. And even with music and whatever, like you want it to look effortless.
Yeah.
When the rapper comes on, you want it to seem like one take, boom. But really, whatever. So, I like rapping. I think I'm good at it. Obviously, I've gotten positive feedback from you when I've played you it.
Fuck yeah.
Why not? Now there's an audience that's demanding it. I mean, even just here in the Twitch stream, and different people have said, we need it. We want to hear your music. And I'm like, well, it's already out there, but I'm down to give you guys more.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And the cool thing is that I already have an audience that's going to give me benefit of the doubt. I already have an audience that's behind me regardless.
I was going to say,
So,
now is the best time to be dropping your own stuff. And you're in a really cool position where you haven't done much in the last 6 years or whatever, where you can decide what kind of rapper you're going to be now.
Yeah, exactly. Like what you're most into at the moment.
Yeah, like are you...
Because I found my voice in rapping, but I still like I have my kind of, I don't know how to say style, but like I don't know, want to say I have a distinct sound. Maybe you can speak for me, Noisy, but like
you definitely have a
it's
sound.
a pretty like punctual, like setting up punchlines. I speak very clearly. I like space. I like to be relaxed on the beat.
Yeah.
And so I have that established, but there's a lot of different directions and styles I can go. So, but yeah, like obviously, but even every rapper has chill songs, hype songs, real songs, party songs, love song, whatever the rapper is. You have an album, you have a project, you have a lot of different styles on it. I mean, it would be appropriate to start experimenting with that. What I'll say this, I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to keep this under wraps. Maybe announcing it here will put more of the pressure on me. My goal is June 1st to announce this, so that's 6 days from now.
June 1st?
July. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're a bit late for that one.
I'm going to get in the time machine to before I was famous. It's crazy to think famous, right? And like, even when people just say, you're my favorite TikToker. And I'm like, I never saw myself as a TikToker. But
you know what's funny is we were looking...
Add it to my LinkedIn profile.
We were adding up your Instagram handle to the description of these videos that we're doing now. and we searched your name in just Instagram, and there was like 5 fan accounts
Yeah.
underneath your account.
You gotta
Like-
love it. You gotta love it.
Like, there's not that many fucking fan accounts for
big bands.
for like really big bands.
Yeah.
Well, then that's the
3
crazy
weeks,
thing
bro.
is the
3
that's
weeks.
the crazy thing is the level of passion that that my audience has.
Because
it's
they've
not
been-
just the numbers, but it's like that's the thing, Trav, that you were talking about is the impact, but it kind of feels like both to a degree. You know?
I'm gonna take a piss while you guys keep talking for a bit, but I'll be
I'll
back.
allow it.
I'll be able to hear because it's just next door. You'll probably be able to hear me piss as well.
Oh, sick.
Just
Can't wait.
FYI.
Sweet. Turn up the mic.
So you said, actually, I noticed that you said that you master your own stuff. So are you into a bit of self-engineering yourself, or?
I use Lander. Are you familiar with Lander?
I am, yeah.
That's what I mean by master. I just mean I took an extra second to take that MP3, which is literally just an Audacity file.
Oof.
I mean, just the audacity of me to use Audacity. I know. I'm sorry.
That hurts.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't. I mean, maybe I need to just hit up Noisy and be like, "Yo, can you take 5 minutes to just side? I need some sidechain compression on my vocals, bro. You know, or whatever."
Just make it suck and punch a bit, man.
Yeah, just give me some EQ, bass me up a little bit, you know, fucking filter this and a little reverb and throw the delay so I'm like, you know, I don't fucking know. I know the words, but I don't know how to do shit.
That's fair though. I mean, whatever works,
you know.
especially because Audacity, because it's free, and it gets the job done, and that's probably one of the most important things. Jesus, if you've found something that gets the job done.
What are we on now?
What I was doing, if we compare it to, we were talking about me using Audacity for that Savage remix. Because what I was
I was
originally
just saying
going to
that he
do.
mentioned that he masters his own stuff, and I said, can you just dive into that?
Oh
He
yeah,
said that he uses Lander just to polish up his own kind of thing.
Lander's cool.
Okay. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, you know, it's whatever. What I originally was going to do for that Savage remix was set the phone up right here, record, and then just have the song playing on speakers, and then rap. You know, but then I was like, okay, I'll take it one step further, and even if I just have the beat coming through. Like if I haven't, the beats sound better, like bass and all that shit, if it's in the audio file, if it's embedded in the video. So I just recorded it with the blue mic. I just made sure the levels, because I don't want to overproduce it. Going back to sounding spur of the moment, right?
Yeah.
Where Noisy, when you're doing a TikTok and when you're recording, like you're clearly in a professional studio, so we're expecting. I mean, you know, you're in a studio. You know what you're doing.
Are you talking about my TikTok videos or other stuff?
Yeah. Are you literally just playing that through the speakers?
All right, I'm gonna tell you something about my TikTok.
Let's peel
videos.
back the curtain. Let's peel back.
This
the
is
curtain.
so back in the day when I used to do when I started on TikTok, and this is a point of contention for me, and I don't know if you can shed any light on this because you know a little bit more about the platform than I do. But I started when I was and I would record on my camera, which I got a pretty decent camera, nothing like our boy's a proper photographer up in here, but like I got a decent.
Holy shit.
Like decent camera there, and I'd record on that, and I'd run the audio out and all that. If you watch my TikToks, it looks like I'm playing the track. I'm not. I'm just miming along. It's all fake.
That's fine.
It's all fake. Don't buy into the thing. I already made the
news.
It's all fake. But
Fake
anyway,
news.
so that's how I started it. And I would bounce the video, and I'd match up the audio, and then I'd.
Just like how a rapper records a music video with the track playing in the background, and
Exactly.
you just mute the video. Yeah.
But,
Exactly.
But I would do that, and it was all quite pro, and then my views started going to zero, and I'm
That's okay. I was about to address that. Go ahead.
and I'm talking zero, like
Yeah, you're not talking
even
a
one
few.
view, and
Yeah.
and I was starting off at like, you know, nothing major, but nothing too shit, like 50 or 30 or 50 or, you know, whatever. Not that,
your average was yeah.
yeah, but it went to zero, and I was doing a couple of other videos here and there, and I realized that unless I was making a video natively in the app, it would cut my views. And so I changed my format, and now because I upload all of my beats to DistroKid, Spotify, and they get automatically uploaded to TikTok as well, I now just bring in the audio of my own beat from.
Oh wow! And you record natively
TikTok.
on the phone.
And I like play along to it, and it's all miming still. It's all miming.
That's funny.
And I
that's
use that.
interesting behind the scenes.
But yeah, there's something about the native thing. But my wife was talking to someone who works for TikTok, because she works in digital marketing, and she mentioned that problem that I was having to him, and he was like, "Yo, that's not a thing. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing." And I'm like, well...
Wow, I've heard that as a thing, but that's
Yeah.
interesting to hear him contradict that.
Yeah, but like for me, it was legitimately, if I made a video natively in TikTok, it would have, 50, 60 views, or now I'm like at like 80, 90, 100, whatever.
That's lit, yeah.
And if I didn't make it natively in TikTok, it would be 0. 100% 0. Like,
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because all of my videos
you're not native.
and completely not native.
Yeah.
They are live, but
Yeah.
they're not native.
But-
so I record them like with a proper camera with proper production,
Yeah.
and then
Transfer
upload
to your
them.
phone, upload.
And you do the
I've
same.
heard that TikTok doesn't like overproduced videos, but then I see people that are doing crazy levels of video editing, high level cameras,
Yeah.
and they have millions of viewers.
And having said that, what do you do?
I use my parents' iPhone. I have an iPhone 8. I'm at my parents' house, so I grab the iPhone 10 from my mom or my dad. And then I go front-facing camera on the tripod, right, whatever. I camera app, record it, airdrop it to my phone, upload it to TikTok, and then I
So it's
upload
the same
the video
method
there.
as me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really interesting.
And so you use the audio from the phone as well?
I'm just hit record. It's TikTok. Don't overthink it.
Man,
That's
that
my
phone
life.
has good audio. Having said that, I think this phone's got pretty good audio too.
Yo, I don't know if you saw the YouTube video that 200K in 2 weeks, that whole thing.
Yeah.
That was just phone.
That was
Don't
phone.
overthink it.
Yeah.
People want to hear the story. You want to hear the story? Here it is.
Yeah.
I rehearsed it. I
No one
I got it all the
really
way
gives
through.
a shit about the production too much.
Like, come on. If you give a shit about the production, like that's the thing. If you're here for the story, I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
That's it.
We've
Yeah.
had this conversation
Yeah.
about songs.
Yeah.
We're like,
Mixing
If
and all that
it's-
goo goo gaga. Don't overthink it.
if it's a good song, people will
Exactly.
listen
It will
to
go. It will go.
and they
It
will love
go.
it and they will share it. If it's
Yeah.
a great song and it's well performed,
Yeah.
it doesn't
I
matter
agree.
if it's mixed well in a $2 million studio or if it's in your fucking bedroom. It doesn't matter.
That's a fact.
That's exactly how Tash Sultana got big.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wrote a good song in a fucking
that's-
living room. and
there's
just
so
fucking
many
put it out
examples,
there.
yeah.
And everyone was just like, "This is sick."
Hosier,
Yep,
yeah.
same shit.
Take You to Church. That was a fucking banger. Recorded in his bedroom.
Yeah,
And Skrillex. A fucking laptop.
yeah.
That's all he has. He mixes, masters, does everything. That dude. I got massive respect for Skrillex, despite the
Yeah,
fact that he's
he knows
not
what he's
doing
doing.
anything anymore. But
Yeah.
Oh, is he inactive now?
I don't know. He was the biggest thing in the world for 2 years, and now he's
kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he's kind of disappeared. I guess his fame ran its course. But
They probably just made enough money to be like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, there's also that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you get mad at professional athletes that feel like they're half-assing effort. It's like, yo, this guy grew up with nothing.
Yeah.
His dream was to make it to the league. He just made 50 million. He's taking care of his family, to the point where his grandkids could be assholes if they want to. Right? It's like everyone's taken care
Everybody's good.
of.
Man,
bro, he's gonna hang out.
Exactly.
This is a complete side note. You're obviously a sports fan, and I am
Yeah,
not.
heavy.
Are you a sports fan?
I am not.
I'm not. We're both not sports fans.
That's okay.
But I watched the Michael Jordan documentary.
I haven't seen it yet, which is completely contradictory to the last 15 seconds of conversation. I'm a huge sports fan. I'm not a sports
I've been
fan.
meaning to see that though. Apparently,
Dude,
it's very good.
I am I understand why he is so loved by everybody. He is a fucking monster. Like,
he's a freak. He's not a human
he's
being.
a freak. He's a dude who just like he puts in. He sees an amount of effort being put into something, and he puts in more effort than that. Like,
He just triples it.
he just triples it. He fucking like if someone's doing better than him, he will just go in and
He's
destroy
insulted.
them.
He's completely
Yeah.
offended, and it's not about winning the game. It's about embarrassing them. And
Yeah.
the thing is, like, and that was like the Kobe thing, and the whole like just another level of like, look, I'm not just here to win. Obviously, I'm gonna win. I'm here to make sure that you never think that you can ever step in the same building as me.
Yeah.
And like, I haven't seen this, but
Yeah.
like, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about. And it's like,
there's this one scene. Well, there's one like section, like this is completely off topic, but like I love talking about this kind of shit because like I'm all about ambition and like drive and shit. Where he goes, he plays this game against a team. I can't remember what the team was. I can't remember who the player was, but the one of the players on the other side outplayed him that game, and he scored, I can't remember how many points. I think it was like 38 points or something in the game. Or maybe it was like 60 points. I can't remember. It was a lot of points for basketball. I'm not a very big basketball player.
50 is a shitload. So
Okay,
that is
yeah.
absurd.
Yeah. He
Heaps,
like
yeah.
he like really like slammed it in this game and kind of showed up Michael Jordan. And then after the game, he said to Michael, nice game, as he's walking off the court.
Wow.
To be like, fuck you. And
Right.
Jordan like fucking like spread this and was like, this is what he said, and like he had it in his mind like, I'm gonna fuck this cunt up.
Yeah.
Probably not like that because it doesn't say that, but but in
That was the most Australian shit right there.
but in the next game, Jordan scored the amount of points that guy scored in the whole game in the first half, just to show him up and show him who the who's the boss. And then like the whole story about like him saying nice game and all that came to light, and eventually like, and people were like, no, you didn't say that, I didn't say that. They asked him like, did
He just made that up?
did he say that? And he's like, nah. And he made it. He not only made it up and told people about it, he made it up and believed it himself so much that he performed better than he'd ever performed in his life. Like try and create that level of inspiration in your life, and you are like, you're gonna do fucking things. Like, that's a dude who's like looking for inspiration, and I feel like that's amazing.
He's just any excuse. It's like, oh, this guy played well? No.
No, yeah, I'm
done.
gonna play well.
I'm insulted.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you play well against me? Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, like the documentary is fucking insane. Like
I need to watch that. How many episodes is it?
10.
6 or 7 or 8?
It's 10. And
Fucking
they're
sign
pretty
me
long. I think they're like 45. One thing that is super annoying about it is that it jumps timelines between the early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, when he was kind of like starting out in his peak and stuff, to the 98 where he came back, or when the Bulls came back with the same team. It jumps. It jumps between those timelines, like
too often for
throughout the whole like 5 times an episode, and it is super annoying because you're like, wait, that dude was doing.
Oh shit! Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
It's not chronological. It kind of just like jumps between the stories, and it's fucking annoying. But it is a really good documentary. Like,
does it talk about the conspiracy? I'm a big conspiracy guy. Does it talk about the untalked about story of him taking a year off and why he took a year off?
Oh, the baseball thing.
Well, the baseball thing is what we all know, but the secret suspension by the NBA.
No, it doesn't talk about the secret. Oh no, yes, no, I think it does talk about that.
Yeah, nah, mate. Not yet.
Nah, yeah, nah,
Yeah, nah, nah, yeah, nah, 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 yeah, nah,
It does. It does. Yeah, no, it does say that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, it does. It does say that.
Because word on the streets is that the commissioner of the NBA was unhappy with him and wanted him to step away from basketball. But they also didn't want to publicly announce we are suspending the best player in history and the face of our league.
Nah, he goes on camera and they bring that up and they're like, what do you think about this? And he's like there's no way they would have suspended me. Like he's straight up. He's like, his dad got murdered. He was just like in a fucked up place.
His dad got murdered.
His dad got murdered in a botched robbery, but the word on the streets about that is that his dad got murdered because his dad was in a lot of gambling debt with some bad people. They say that, but he was like my dad got murdered. I'd never played a game before.
Baseball, and his dad loved baseball.
His dad loved baseball and always wanted him to be a baseball player, and he was just in a fucked up place, and he just like goes, look, I'm going to go play baseball.
Okay. You just won 3 consecutive championships in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then you go play another sport.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. His life looked pretty fucked up at that point.
His life was fucked up at that point, but I mean, it's great. Anyway, obviously I don't have enough research to like.
Yeah.
I need to watch his thing.
Yeah.
Just from like really credible sources.
But when you watch it, everyone's just like, there's no fucking way. Like, that's not true.
Really?
Yeah. But like those are the people who would have been in on it as well. So
those are the people that would have been in on it. If he's signing off on this documentary, this is the narrative that he wants.
Yeah.
Like, and ultimately, I that's not the point of this whole thing, because the reality is he won 3 consecutive championships, played a different sport professionally, and then came back and won 3 more consecutive like as if I'm just gonna go play with kids that are 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Like, that's under what circumstances that might be a possible reality.
With the same teammates as well that were like 5 years. Oh no, like 8 years down the line.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not the same team as the original. I mean, it's the same humans, but like, it's not like these guys are,
But yeah, like those guys were insane. That team was just like a phenomenal team. But like there's no one that like leveled his fucking insanity when it came to just like playing a sport to the next level.
It's a different level.
And then they broke up the team. And then they like the team, like the management were like, yo, that's like, we're not playing anymore. Like, you're all out. Like, the fucking team that won 6 in a row, 6 championships, not in a row, but like 6 championships in 8 years. They said, you're done. Like, you all can't play. You're not on this team anymore. You all can't play. Like, what the fuck? That angers me. But apparently the reason is they were all too expensive. Like, they couldn't afford to have the players.
Yeah, that's how, because in the NBA, in all American sports except for baseball, you have a salary cap. So you have a ceiling of how much you're allotted to pay all of your players. And the purpose of that is, to avoid what happens with the New York Yankees in baseball, where the richest owner can just go buy all of the best players. And if you get good enough, I'm just going to buy you, because I literally, my billions are way more bigger than his billions, right? So it's like I can afford to just get whoever and build essentially a fantasy team as my lineup, right? So we want to avoid that in the NBA. So we say, hey, you can only spend X amount. And therefore, you can get LeBron James, but you can't also afford X, Y, and Z player. But if LeBron James is willing to take a pay cut, maybe we can like bump up the budget for here. But LeBron James isn't willing to take a pay cut. Whatever.
Yeah.
Now, what happens with an organically built team, where when I mean organically built, I mean you got this guy straight out of university. You know, you got this guy from the minor leagues, you know, from the Division B team, right? And you got this guy, and so you built this team organically. You got them all buy low stock on these players, and it turns out that they're really good. They play well together, and you win 4 championships. Well, now these players are worth more. And he says, hey, I'm getting a call from Oklahoma, and they're saying that they can pay me $50 million. You guys are paying me $20 million. So can you at least match that? It's like, okay, well, we can match that, but if we match that for all 4 of the guys that we've had, we're now over the cap. And so what happens with teams that are built like that win several times, and I obviously you can't blame the player for saying I demand money when the money's in the market for me, and you can't blame the team for, you know, they can't afford it. So that's a normal thing, but that's competition. You know, the goal of the salary cap is to even out the league. Yeah. It's kind of boring to see the same team win 100 times in a row, right? But
surely, like, I don't know.
I need to pee again.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Surely, like I don't know anything about sports, so like I'm a bad person. But surely the sponsors and people like that could like balance out. Like if you've got an amazing team,
of course Nike is going to come in and give you $80 million.
Yeah, like, but
does that mean that I'm going to turn down another potential $30 million? And you're sitting there like, come on, man, what's the difference between 80 and 100? You know, but yeah, I mean that's a difference between.
It is 80 and 100 million. Like that's.
Yeah, we're literally talking about $20 million. Are you telling me that $20 million doesn't matter? It's
like that's another mansion just in 1 year.
Yeah, that's another generation of wealth. You know, that's another like my kids, right? And that's another whatever it is, right? That's another company that I can invest in. You know, and that's another potential 100 million that I could make, starting with 20 million on Tesla on day one. You know, whatever it is.
Another recording studio.
Yeah, for us, it's another DaBaby feature. You know, that I could invest in.
Man, let's get DaBaby in on a track. I mean, he's on everybody else's tracks. Like, why can't he be on ours?
I just saw him on What's Poppin' remix.
Oh, I haven't listened to that. I really want to hear it.
So fire.
I was too busy listening to Black's new album or EP.
Oh, I need to listen to that.
Who is my favorite? My favorite. I wouldn't say rapper, R&B artist, although he is a fire rapper as well.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched the Kenny Beats Cave series?
I haven't. No.
So Kenny Beats, you know, he's the beat maker.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
can't say I'm. Yeah.
Anyway, he's just a pretty decent beat maker. He's got this YouTube series where he just gets a different rapper in, and he just has them in the background. He makes a beat while they're sitting behind him, and they're just talking shit, and he's just making a beat. And then when he finishes the beat, they've got to go into the studio and spit some bars on this beat. I'm talking about The Cave. Like, we watched that. I showed you the Black episode.
Yes.
Yeah. And the person's got to spit, like, you know, a verse over it or whatever. And it kind of goes to varying degrees depending on how good the rapper is. And a lot of the time he ends up having to chop it up quite a lot. But
yeah.
So they're talking shit. So him and Black. I don't know if the crowd knows who Black is, but Six Lack is the artist name. Six Black with a 6 as the B. Anyway, he writes they're just talking shit, and he's making the beat, and the guy's like at the end he's like, oh, so you haven't written anything down like verse wise? Like, he's like, oh no, I've been coming up with my verse, I got it. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, I've got the whole verse.
I see where this is going.
And he's like, oh, like, so you haven't written it down? He's like, no.
Well, usually the rappers that come in here have a pen and a pad, and then they prepare their 16-bar verse. Yeah, which is fair.
Well, a lot of the dudes do, but they sit there and they think about it. Black's just been like, coming up with it. And he's like, so you got your whole thing, you know exactly how it's going to go. He's like,
That's that's Jay-Z was famous for that. But
exactly. But Black's not even he's not a rapper. He's an R&B singer. Well, like in the public sense, but he's like, and he knows exactly the inflection he's going to use. He knows it all. But he's been talking this whole time, and he goes into the fucking booth, man, and spits this verse that is just so good and so like, I don't know, it's just like so diverse, and like the phrasing on it's awesome and all this shit.
Wow.
And he's just got it in his head the whole time. I'm like, that is an artist, bro. And so I've got mad respect for Black, and his album, like his first album that he dropped, is like one of my favorite albums of all time.
I didn't check that out. Where did you watch that?
It's on YouTube. It's Kenny Beats The Cave.
That's it.
Kenny Beats. Yeah.
And there's a lot of other cool artists on there too that are just like so much, like it's just a fun show to
so
watch.
lit. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should we throw back to the TikTok?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm down to throw back to the TikTok. Yeah.
I want to know.
I'm approaching midnight here in California.
Oh shit! It's probably
No, you're good.
We'll wrap it up.
It's only because I work at 6 a.m.
Oh,
but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Anytime you want to wrap it up, just give us the word and we'll
I'll wink twice if I'm in danger.
Well, already he's getting like a maximum of like 5.5 hours.
Wait, you say, man, I've seen you do live streams later than this.
No, I know, but I mean, it all depends. Obviously, there's a few factors in it. Like if I've taken a nap, usually in the day. And
wait, are you telling me you work? I thought you were a full-time TikToker.
I know that's what it comes off. My work thinks I don't do anything other than work. My TikTok thinks I don't do anything other than TikTok.
It's probably a good thing.
My girlfriend sees that I'm always available. So yeah.
So wait, what was the question you were going to ask?
I was going to say what's like in store for your TikTok channel.
What can we expect?
Yeah, exactly.
So expect me to consider. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was reading a Twitch comment.
What's going to take you up to the next level, man?
So I guess there's if this video goes viral, then it goes viral, and I'll deal with it. But I'm willing to share some secrets, some behind the scenes here. Obviously, I have quite a bit of exposure to the point where, again, not to flex, but just raw numbers. Mm-hmm. When I put out a video, within 30 minutes, it'll have 10,000 and it'll have 100,000 throughout the course of a day.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Great. Cool. A lot of my DMs are upcoming artists, rappers, whatever, asking me to do their song because they see the potential for exposure. And my logic initially a couple weeks ago, when I would receive a message like that, first thought is, well, I don't want to dive into that whole conversation yet because I'm still getting the ball rolling here. It's been a couple weeks. I don't want to start watering down my content, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing is, I don't know this guy. It doesn't sound like he's really going to do anything for me. Some of them are outright asking, how much would it cost? How much can I pay you to do this?
Yeah.
And so, well, let's do some math. I have 200,000, blah, 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 blah. Let's be quite frank here. My price now will be very different than my price even in a couple weeks from now, right? If I'm at 335,000, I'm literally gaining 10,000 a day, right? So check back in a month from now, if I'm at 500,000, I mean, the numbers are absurd, right? Like it's unbelievable. And so if I'm going to be at 500,000 in mid-July, if I'm going to be at 1 million by September, right? And I'm not itching for the money. Of course, my parents, a lot of people around me, first question is, oh, you have all these followers? What about the money? Are you getting any offer? Well, it's like, let's keep growing here, right? There's going to be money. It's almost impossible not to make money when you hit these higher level numbers, right?
Yeah.
So
let's get the numbers first and then think about the money later.
The money will come. The money, that's the easy part. The hard part is getting the following, right? You can almost fucking do anything and, whatever. So I'm like, hey, how can I put off this conversation for a couple weeks? Hey, hit me up in a couple weeks. Hit me up in mid-July and I'll have an answer for you. And, some people are like, okay, no problem. Some people are like, what the fuck, man, whatever. Okay, cool, fine, whatever, cool. So I came up with this idea. Actually, my friend, who's one of my favorite rappers, Catalyst Bars, came up with this idea, and he said, "Why don't I host a contest where rappers submit songs, I review every single one, and I pick the top 3 winners. And now let's draw this out." So I make a TikTok video that says, "Hey, are you a rapper? Do you have a friend that's a rapper? Do you want me to articulate one of your songs? Go to my YouTube, subscribe, and watch my newest video with the instructions on how to enter." Boom, 15 seconds, redirecting to YouTube. That TikTok video will get tagged and shared, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, bro, yo, right here, this guy. I follow this guy, and he can help you, and blah blah blah. He's awesome, cool." That TikTok video will do well. Now let's go to YouTube. "Hey guys, I'm BSTCHLD. I have 500,000, whatever the number is, and I want to help up and coming artists. You've seen me do favorite blah blah, and I'm working the video right now. I come up with a 5 to 6 minute YouTube video that essentially says, if you want to enter this contest, I'm really not asking a lot, right? I've entered contests where you have to write a new verse and you have to perform live, and I'm just going to ask you to send a song you've already written. So to enter the contest, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitch. Maybe I'll throw that in there.
Yeah.
All those 3. And then send me an email to BSTCHLD@gmail. I'll set up the email with your song, with a link, with whatever you got. Cool. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to pick the top 3, the winners. And we're going to deliberate next, whatever. So that YouTube video, I think, will do well too. That will get shared because that's the official instructions. So that's going to get sent around to different rappers. Then the deliberation process. So now maybe I have a live thing, me and Catalyst on an IGTV or on an IG live, and now a third platform, and we're leveraging the audience. Hey, you guys submitted. We're going to be reviewing every single song 7 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. We don't know what we don't know.
How many
we're just going to go through them.
Yeah.
So and so I don't know if I'm going to get 100 or 500 or 1,000 or 50, And so then now we're on IG live and we're going through them. And if you've submitted one, I honestly don't know when we're going to get to yours because we have hundreds. So you're probably going to be tapped in. Probably
I know that feeling.
Right? I know that feeling. We've all been there, right? And so now, but the reality is that this is an opportunity for other people to network with each other, right? Cool. Is this fake on YouTube? Yes, it's fake.
So I haven't seen that. Oh yeah, there we go. It's Boner.
I like how his name is Boner.
His name's Boner. So we know
it's all CGI.
So now we're leveraging to Instagram Live. And so just in this whole process, even up until this point, I feel like this might have taken me to another level of exposure.
Right? Oh, fuck yeah.
With tags and with it, right? And you know about that, Noisy. You sit back and it's like, I'll play your songs. All of a sudden, Nick sends me and says, hey, this guy plays music. He's going to play my song. You can send him your song. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I sent Tori Fields to you. And now Tori Fields.
Oh, you sent Tori Fields to me.
I sent Tori Fields, bro.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, that cunt.
Great guy.
No,
guy?
Great fucking
Family
musician,
man?
bro.
Yeah,
his
really
songs
good, diverse.
are fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like
I don't different kinds of shit.
I don't remember many songs, but this is completely fucking off topic, but that dude dropped a track. I can't remember the name of the track. It was under his T one because he's got so many fucking SoundClouds. But it was just T, and he dropped a track that got the best response out of any that I've ever seen. Everybody in my things
really.
We need, give us a link. What's the link? And I had to post the link on my Twitter to kind of be like, yo, this is where it's at. Go find that. That dude is a talent, bro. And he doesn't rap anymore, but I think I've convinced him to, well, not me, but
he wanted to go the acoustic lo-fi pop
route. He needs to be rapping, bro. He needs to be rapping.
And I said to him as well, you don't have to pigeonhole, you don't have to silo yourself, right?
Nah, he's got a fucking talent for rapping. He's got to get back in it because that dude is really talented.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew Tori Fields.
I met Tori through Catalyst Bars' Instagram live, and Tori wrote in the comments, whatever, I remember the conversation was, but he was like, hey, how do you like connect with like legit hardworking musicians? Because I'm a hard worker, and I mean, this is me paraphrasing, but you know, he comes across people that are all talk. We know all about that, right? Oh, let's collab, let's do this. And it's like, yo, what the fuck, right? Noisy is the opposite of all talk. This guy's streaming live on every fucking platform, and then when he finishes streaming live, he's streaming a podcast. It's like, do you sleep? You know? And like, so yeah, sometimes. So anyway, yeah, you get it. You are obviously aware, going back to the contest thing, you're aware of how this can like snowball. So that's my idea. And the thing is that I genuinely will listen to, obviously there's a lot of ways that this can be like fake or whatever, but I genuinely will give every single track a chance. Obviously I'm going to leverage to different platforms because I want people to check out my YouTube. I want people to come, you know, onto Instagram, but I am going to give every single one a chance. And I am going to pick 3 winners. And now maybe, are there 500 submissions? If there's like a lot of submissions, I can make a YouTube video with like, here's the top 10, right? And it's like, give them some exposure. And then the final 3. Part of the concern with just doing up people's songs is the audience focus this. But if I have this contest running for 2 or 3 weeks, and I say that on July whatever, we're going to announce the winners. And today, the 3 songs that I do are going to be the winners. The audience knows, okay, this is what we're in for. The other thing is, honestly, I feel that if we have this many submissions, the winners are going to be good. These aren't going to be trash songs that I'm like sacrificing my content to help you out. Like, this is probably going to be a rapper that's been doing his thing, that knows what he's doing. And have a good talk for me. It's going to be, you know, it's not going to be a rapper that people know, but you can get to know him. He's probably talented if you got top 3 out of 500. I know what I'm talking about in hip hop. Catalyst, even maybe more so than me. And I think it'll be a super organic process. It'll be fun. There's a lot of back end work. So right now, of coming out, what does that TikTok video look like? What does that YouTube video look like? What kind of timeline is realistic? Set up the email address, all this shit. So thinking out loud here, but so this is the long answer to Trav's question. What can we expect next? That is the next endeavor that I'm looking at in terms of different kinds of content. I'm going to let that evolve organically. I did a SpongeBob SquarePants video, you know, the theme song to SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's so good.
The fourth time that I said SpongeBob SquarePants, I wrote Square Bob SquarePants, and nobody noticed. A few people noticed, but almost no one. So then I quickly followed up. Well, the reason that you didn't, hundreds of thousands of people saw this, but the reason you didn't notice is because of a psychology principle called priming. Since you saw it and heard it written correctly 3 times in a row, your brain just kind of turned off the 4th time because it just assumed, of course. And so anyway, that was a quick, like, you know, quick hitter where I'm throwing in some of the interesting things that I'm interested in with psychology, with the content that you're used to. And by the way, go back and watch this video. Of course, a lot of people are going to
go back and watch this video that I made before.
You really
and they're
do that? People are like, people are like, I want my money back. Some people are seeing that video for the first time and they're like, what do you mean you got hundreds of thousands on your SpongeBob thing? Click profile, click video. Some people are like, I didn't even see what you're talking about in this video. They rewatched that 3 times. You know, for a lot of reasons, that was a smart piece of content, in my opinion. But that's kind of how I'm approaching it. I'm capable of so many different things, you know, not to like toot my own horn, but like, you know, I've spent a lot of years not succeeding on the internet and has resulted in experimenting in so many different things that here I'm ready to just unleash, right? So it's lit. That's the long and short
awesome. But album wise, we're going to see some more of that as well. More rapping, more proper Beast Child as well.
Exactly. More rapping. Everything. I mean, everything that I am good at and like to do, which those are usually synonymous, you're going to see more of it. And in terms of what order or when, I will let the natural flow dictate that. But this contest is something that I have in my near sight. You know, in my looking at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
I definitely think that'll be beneficial for you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking we should maybe wrap this one up, and if we find a time in the future, we should continue on.
I would love to.
I'm sure
I'd love
it's
to do
late.
this recurringly, whatever you got. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we're about all the time. We literally live, what, 5 minutes walk from each other, 10 minutes walk.
Yeah.
So we're like right around the corner.
I got, and I mean, at my parents' house here, I hope they're not listening, unlimited supply of beer. And I mean, even once a month, I don't know. Obviously, it sounds like you guys bring on different people regularly, but
You're the second
you guys are awesome.
guest
I
we've
love the
got.
vibe here. Oh, shit. Well, there you
But
go.
we would love to have you on again, even in a month's time or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to see where you're at then and
Yeah.
see how your views have changed or what you got planned and.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
Yeah, revisit
maybe
this.
you're a former shell of yourself, and you're delving deep into the depths of depression caused by TikTok.
I've gone off the deep end. Yeah, exactly. I'm abusing drugs. Maybe at that point we're going to be saying, I remember when he only had 300,000.
Well, I mean, that'll be a reality. I mean, 3 weeks to 300,000,
That's absurd.
bro.
That's crazy.
Like I don't want to be optimistic here, but like you're only going to grow quicker.
Fast. That's the thing. Not only the number, but the rate of growth.
Is going to get quicker.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
like, million is around the corner, and then like from there, fuck.
Yeah.
Like
Let's get that blue check. Is my other. It's my other
Like,
thing. I'm going for the
how do you
verified,
not
right?
have that already? That's actually that was a question that
I
came
mean,
up
the
earlier.
fans are furious. You know, the
how do you-
audience is just.
How do you get it? Have you looked it up?
I've looked it up. There's a couple. There's a few aspects of it.
Is it one of
Obviously,
those accounts that adds you and says get your blue check here?
Yeah, it's like just wire me $500. Western Union. The shitload of followers, shitload of likes, consistent content. That's baseline.
Yeah.
The reason that verified exists is to clarify between copycat accounts. So, Roddy Rich, there's gonna be a lot of people creating fake, not fake, but
Take note, Nick Terra. Sorry,
Yeah,
I,
Nick.
I just told him who Roddy Rich was today. So
oh shit! Well, fucking Nick, go with the times, bro. Come on.
that's what I
So,
said.
Nick, open YouTube or iTunes, or I mean, he posts to YouTube every day. You know? This guy's on the front page. But anyway, there's obviously a lot of people pretending to be, you know, Roger Federer or whoever, right?
Yeah.
So the verified account is where it's like, that's the Beast Child, you know, Beast Child fan page. Beast Child is my father, right? Beast Child is the goat, right? These like actually exist.
Yeah.
But you know, the blue check is going to that's the guy, that's the one.
Yeah.
Another aspect of it is also, other side note, if you are verified on other platforms, you get verified almost right away when you create an account. So if you're actor The Rock and you're verified on Instagram, you're verified on YouTube, and then you create a TikTok, you're basically going to get verified right away. You know, you're going to immediately get fucking 100,000 when you just say, hey, I'm on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is verified on YouTube, so he's going to get verified on TikTok before he hits 1 million, you know? I'm not verified on anything else. So one thing for me would be if I was in the press a lot, if I was now getting interviewed with these magazines or these, you know, whatever different, if there's articles written about me. So a lot of people, you know, Instagram models or whoever wants, rappers that want to like get on will, I don't know if they pay publications to do stuff about them or if they just like have connects or whatever. But if you can just have some press written about you, that makes a statement for getting the blue check. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush for it. I do feel like when I hit 1 million, especially at the rate that I'm growing at, the consistency that I'm putting out content, the level of interaction I have, you know, and giving back with my audience, I feel like I'm, you know, but I don't think there's any reason to like reach out or rush that. They'll find me.
Well,
they know where I am.
Twitter, I know, there is just a like to get it verified on Twitter, you just have to apply
Message
for
the
it.
guy.
Yeah, you just have to apply for it. Put in your, like you have to send them your like passport or something like that, and be like, "Yo, this is me," and then they'll and then they'll verify you. So maybe if you
Well, that's a no-brainer. That's lit.
I think Twitter's quite easy to verify on.
Because just do that, man. You should do that. Why don't you do it?
Well, I mean, I definitely should do that. I just haven't because, like, I mean, no one else is really copying NoisySauce.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not really
Despite
worried
the fact
about
I got
people,
more
like,
fans than you on Twitter.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. You're active in these streets. Yeah.
What is Twitter?
What is it? Well, but like, you actually, that's a funny thing. Like, you're not very active on Twitter.
I haven't been active on Twitter in years. I mean, why not? Right? Obviously, my audience isn't really as much because my audience tends to be a younger audience. They're all, the vast majority are male, and under 18.
Yeah.
And TikTok minimum age is 13, but we know that. Yeah, I mean, Nick was collaborating with a guy who said that his son is a huge BSTCHLD fan. His son's 8.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe start pushing Twitter more. That's the thing. I need to tweet if I'm going to push Twitter, but I'm kind of overwhelmed with the amount of
this
stuff
is something
that's going on now.
I was talking to Nick about this, and he was saying that Twitter's not very big where you are right now either. And Twitter is dead in Australia, and it never blew up. Twitter was never big here, but this is something I've been trying to push you on as well. Mm-hmm. Is like Twitter is where I gained so much of my following, from Twitter, and I'll tell you why. Is it because you can't pay to get, there's no monetary value you can give to boost your shit. So you just have to blow up organically. And that's, I guess, similar with TikTok. You just have to...
Yeah, you can't push your posts. Correct.
Yeah, which is super cool compared to, Facebook. I looked at the stats on my Facebook, and less than 1% of my fans were even seeing what I was doing on Facebook.
That's crazy.
That's less than 1%. It was pushing to less than 1%. So, those people didn't even have the opportunity to interact with it on Facebook. So Facebook's cooked. Instagram is owned
Facebook is so out of I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
What are you, fucking 50? Come on.
Yeah, and Instagram, I feel is on the same kind of route that Facebook's on. Although I am doing quite well on Instagram right now.
It's owned by Facebook, if that makes any difference.
but it's kind of the algorithms kind of work differently. But Twitter is 100, not 100%, but I feel like Twitter is 100%. It's chronologic. So you put something out, people see it, and if people like it, they retweet it, and if people
it's
like
not
what they retweet,
Facebook and Instagram now have this whole algorithm thing or blah 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 blah. Twitter, and I feel like the hashtags on Twitter work.
Yeah. Which
Twitter's lit.
Twitter is a solid. I've got 5.9 thousand on Twitter right now. Which when we talk about your 300 and whatever thousand on TikTok, it doesn't sound like
the
much.
number on TikTok is it's unrealistic.
We're not going to talk about that on any other platform. But but I got 5.9 on Twitter, and I feel
that's legit.
That's sick.
Yeah, and that happened, I would say, organically through my posts, and finding something that worked and consistent posting, and now I'm able from that, and you've obviously seen where I do the live stream on Instagram, and I push the people from Twitter onto Instagram. That is 100% where I get my Instagram following from.
The people that I see in the Instagram came from Twitter.
They all did, yeah, of course, because that's where I push it. That's where I push it from. So
what would they just randomly find your live stream? Yeah, that was a stupid question.
But that was an active decision, because I was I started doing those, here's a little marketing tip for people on Twitter and Instagram. And I know Nick has been doing this himself using a different platform, so he's kind of adapted it his own way. But the way my Twitter grew is I started asking people to drop their links of their songs, on Twitter, and so I was like, "Yo, drop the songs that you guys have, and I want to listen to them." And a lot of people do this and then they just leave it or they try and post themselves. But what I did is I listened to every single one and I posted on it. This is back in the day when I started doing this.
What do you mean posted? You responded.
Responded and said, and I said something personal like, the lyrics on this are awesome, or
like,
I like how you
genuinely gave a shit.
Yeah, like I didn't just like I honestly.
What kind of numbers were you getting at that point? Like
at the start,
15 people, 20 people.
Yeah, at the start it was like 15, 20 or whatever, but it quickly grew to hundreds.
That's insane.
But that's what blew up my Twitter.
How did that grow? People sharing, saying, "Hey, check this guy out. He actually listens."
Because people were like, "Yo, he actually listens," and so they'd share it to their friends every time I did it, and so they started sharing it more, and so I do it every day now.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
But then
so that's what's working,
and that's what's working. That's what blew up the Twitter. But then I was like, "Yo, Twitter doesn't do that much for me. Instagram does." So I was like, "How do I get these people on my Twitter over to my Instagram?" And it was like, okay, what if I, instead of just listening to and commenting on these, I play them live on my Twitter.
Even better, because now everybody's listening.
Yeah, on my Insta. And then I let those people know that I'm going to be live on my Insta. So they all came over and, yeah. And
wow,
blew
great idea, dude. Good work. I love what you're doing. I've never seen anyone do that. You're probably not the only person, in fairness, that is doing that, but no, I've never seen it done.
I don't know. I don't think... I didn't see... Like, that was... Like, I wasn't the first...
I've never seen it.
I wasn't the first person to grow a following by saying drop your links.
No.
Lots of people do that. But
sitting back and playing everything that gets sent.
Yeah, and people do that, but I don't think they mesh their worlds together like that. Like, I don't think they mesh their Twitter world with their Instagram
crossover.
World. Yeah. And that's what really.
I love it. I love it. It's so personal. The community, you see the same.
Not only has it grown me like just general fans, like people being like, yo, like joining on every day. Like I've got groups of people that I know. Like there's Nick, there's you, there's the
Mohica.
Queen Palm, Mohica, fucking Ghostly Sounds. Jethro, Eli,
Tori's now in there. Yeah,
Tori feels he's in there every day. I got so many people joining up that are dailies, and they message me 10 minutes before they know I'm going to be on every single day, being like, "Here's my new track. Make sure you play it."
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
But I've gotten people that are on there that are like what they call super fans, where they're like, I'm only going to buy beats from you, no one else.
Wow.
Like if I'm making a rap track, it's going to be using your beat.
Wow.
And that is like those are who you build your.
That's the biggest honor.
And that's.
Yeah, exactly. That's who's going to financially, take you to another level, and then you just need more of that. And I remember my friend Catalyst, and brainstorming with his team, his marketing team, just him and his buddies.
Yeah.
It's like, we need 100 BSTCHLDs in terms of how much of a fan I was of his. I was in every single live.
Yeah.
I commented on every post. I listened to every song. Yeah. I went back and listened to songs. And he was like, we don't need 1 million followers. We need 100 of him, because I'm going to pay for whatever you put out. I'm going to be there when you're live. I'm going to consume your shit, share your shit. I'm going to take this style song you did and share it with the person that's relevant to. When you do this kind of song, I know actually one of my other friends that's going to really, whatever.
Yeah.
That, and like you're saying, maybe getting 300,000 in 3 weeks is unrealistic for 99% of people. I never would have fathomed that. But what you can do is make a living when you have enough people that are like, that's the Patreon method, right? Or, whatever it is. And it's like, hey, Patreon, like pay this thing and you get this, 4 beats a month or whatever your thing is, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I have people here, of my audience that's like, hey, make fucking merch. Whatever you make, I will buy it. I will consume it. You make a shirt, I'll buy it. You make a fucking sticker.
When are we seeing Beast Child merch?
That's also in the works. I hate to talk about things I don't have ready yet, but this week I've been working.
I want it.
And it turns is actually setting up the store. It's not the company or the place that's going to make it. It's like the retail, and there's different levels of fees. And do I want to pay per item? Do I want to pay per sale? Do I want to pay a flat monthly? So I'm looking at all that. You know, but anyway, yeah, all that. But you get it. That's the valuable thing. 2 or 3 people that have said shit like that, you know, people that are in here that are like, I'm going to stay as long as this is. I want this conversation to go on forever. That's valuable.
Yeah.
Right. As much as first. No, I was first. No, second. No, third. No, I was first. No, you weren't. I was first. Look at the timestamp. Those arguments in the comments are hilarious and they help the engagement, but
yeah, you know,
you're not going to, that's not going to pay your mortgage type.
They don't cross over to actual, to sustainable income. Yeah. Which is like, that's what it's all about, is being able to like live off.
So that if you can make enough to where you really do it. Yeah. Ryan's all about it. Yeah, there's some heads in here. I mean, this is crazy. We've obviously approaching the 3-hour mark, but
Shit.
This has been incredible. We need to do this more often.
This is definitely our longest we've gone on.
This is definitely the longest podcast.
All right, let's call it, and we'll do this again very soon.
Let's do it.
So
and we'll do a better job about getting, because I know there's people that would appreciate this.
That's fine. It'll be up on YouTube, so people can check it out.
Yeah.
If they want to hear the conversation. I mean, I don't know if people are going to be listening to 3 hours. Like, maybe
play it at 1.5 speed. That's what I always go for.
That's it. I'm on Audible right now, and everything's at two times speed.
Yeah, I'm Audible. I'm a 1.75 guy.
Oh, you work your way up. Believe me.
Hell yeah, baby. You're the man.
All right,
let's
finish this up, and thanks so much for watching, everybody. Peace out. We'll talk to y'all again very soon.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Gabe for
hanging out
and letting us do this.
This is awesome.
All right,
it was nice to meet you, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna slide out,
I'm just gonna stop the stream now. Peace out.